All right. Welcome to the stream. Good evening. How's it going, everybody? Okay, we're going to start a new game, even though we kind of technically started it during the last stream. Last stream, I beat Spider-Man 2. Finished that game up. Pretty good game. And also, I ended up starting up Alan Wake 2 that same... I guess it wasn't at night. It was that same day. But we had some complications, including the stream not recording as properly as it should have. I think I fixed the issue, hopefully so. However, we didn't put a heck of a whole lot of time into it, so I figured we might as well just start again from the beginning. So that's what we're going to do. So today, fresh start. Apologies if there's anybody here that's on the last stream. We're going to be going over about an hour, maybe hour and a half of the same content, but I think it'll be for the better, especially for the sake of the recording. So shouldn't be too bad, I think. Besides, we'll probably get through it a little bit quicker than the previous stream as well. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Hopefully things start looking good here. We get everything all set up. Go ahead and launch it.
It's showtime.
Yes, it is. Once again, brand new game. Came out not too long ago, a few days ago, last Friday. It is now Monday as we are streaming here. And so far, so good. There's some slight issues I have with the game mechanics. Hopefully, we'll not have as many issues as I did when I first started, but I think we'll probably be able to manage. Let's see here. Notice that some of my settings had reset last time. Yeah, exactly, like this. So why don't we switch that? I think I'm going to go borderless, maybe. No, let's not do that. Borderless does not fill out the entirety of the screen. That should be fine. Ultra performance, how about balance? That should be okay, I think. I think I'm going to up the brightness as well. The same kind of issue we were having, I noticed, with the recording, although I think my settings were a little bit messed up, so that could have been part of the issue, but same kind of problems I was having with Amnesia, the bunker. It's just the game, sometimes it's a little bit too dark, and it causes a lot of artifacting, which is only going to get worse when you upload it to a video service like YouTube, or if I were to keep the recording or something on Twitch, something like that. So we're just going to leave it there. Automatically, it put a lot of these settings up at high, so hopefully that doesn't affect us too bad. I noticed the frames are kind of chugging. I did turn on the NVIDIA overlay to kind of see where we're at, so if it tends to dip pretty severely, I think I might change some of those settings and lower the graphical settings down a bit. Normally, when playing on my own, typically runs fine. Frame rate is stable and smooth. However, when we're recording, that eats up a lot of PC resources. I'm a single PC streamer, no multi-PC here. And because of that, sometimes those resources end up taking a toll on the game itself, which causes it to get bogged down a bit. So hopefully that doesn't happen, but we shall see. So let's go ahead and start it up. Actually, before I do that, let me do one thing here. Sorry, I keep tabbing in and out of the game. Maybe a little bit more frequently than I probably should be doing.
Back to the beginning. We all come to a story with hopes and expectations, looking for an answer. Sometimes it would be better
check and see how loud this is
without ever knowing the full story.
Pretty dang loud, but I think we could manage.
In a horror story, there are only victims and monsters. And the trick is not to end up as either. But trapped by the genre, we are all ripped to pieces along the way. This is not the story I hoped it would be. This is not the ending I wanted. This story will eat us alive. This story is a monster. And monsters wear many faces.
Sort of in some sort of semblance of a game. I'm gonna take a look at my volume mixer. I will knock the game down a tad. I think we're at 90%. Maybe I'll do like 85 or something, just to make sure we have enough clearance here. Alright, so first things first, we get in here. Quite a sight to behold. Big, fat, naked man's ass. It's very hairy, too. Yeah, you're starting up a brand new Alan Wake game. It's been ages since the last one came out.
Can you hear me?
Think, oh boy, can't wait to see him. And then outwashes this asshole.
Already gone.
Well, you should climb on up there. If I was in a similar situation to him, I'd be begging for people's help. Clothes, anything. Is there any other way we can go, or is it just the beaten path, huh? But yeah, it's God, it's been a while since the original Alan Wake came out. I'm trying to think of what specific year that was, because I'm pretty sure it was still the 2010s, but like early 2010s. Might have even been 2010 itself. Take a look at that real quick. Pull that up real quick. Yeah, it was 2010. Oh my God, Alan Wake jump scare. May 14th, 2010. So it's been like 13 years and change since the original game came out. And finally, after all this time, we end up getting a sequel. But Remedy's kind of had like this sordid history. I mean, the thing with the original Alan Wake is that it did not make a whole lot of money. It was a console exclusive, I think, at the time. I don't remember if it immediately had a PC release, but at least it was a console exclusive for the Xbox 360. A ton of people played it that I know of. More Alan Wake jump scares. But I never really got a chance to, and it wasn't until, when was that? 2018, 2019, somewhere around that time when I ended up getting the Xbox One. But, I think that was 2018, actually. And that was one of the first games that I got because that was exclusive that I could not play in any sort of fashion. And there was no PC release, at least that I could get a hold of at the time. Lights, but shadows are just traipsing through the light. Let's see if there's maybe something we could get a hold of. Like that lantern. Not good enough. They don't seem to be afraid.
Cool. That can work. Hemingway.
Where's the rest of the stuff? I need to finish this. I'm coming. What the fuck? Shit.
Alan, wake. Aye. Or two.
Hey, kiddo. How are you?
I'm good, Mom. How are you?
This trip might take a little longer than I thought. I'm sorry I've been gone so much lately, Logan.
Oh my god, Mom, it's not your fault people get all murdery. What happened?
Just work stuff.
Right. Well, Dad and I are just watching the latest episode of Night Springs here. Mom, it's so good.
No spoilers! I'll let you get back to the show. You were supposed to wait and watch with me. I love you both.
This is what happens when you go on work trips, Mom. Love you too. And say hi to Casey. Tell him to stop brooding so much.
Logan? I will. Bye, kiddo. Logan thinks you should try cheering up.
There's the man of the hour himself, Mr. Sam Lake.
Kid. Wonder where she gets that from.
Dual coffee sipping.
It can't be a coincidence that another body turns up just as we arrive in town. Feels like the killer's leaving us a message.
I'm glad you're on this case with me, Anderson. It's right up your alley. You should take lead. Think of me as the backup.
Okay. Any words of advice?
Nothing that would cheer anyone up.
Of course, we got Sam Lake's credits all over this thing, too.
Here we are.
Still has
Cauldron Lake.
quite a significant role at the Remedy
Time to get
Studios.
to work. A deputy was supposed to be here to show us to the crime scene. There's the car, so where's the deputy?
Eaten by a bear? I'll check out that map.
Alright, so we got our introductions out of the way.
Memorizing before we get swallowed up by the trees.
So, it's kind of
I should take a
interesting.
look at that map.
Shut up. Because we got Sam Lake here, once again lending his likeness. We saw him recently when Kojima's Death Stranding game. He was one of the residents that was kind of like out in the boondocks. But again, I think with that situation, it also was strictly just the likeness and not necessarily the same voice of the actor. Sam Lake, we saw him as, I think he was the director for the game, and You know, he's got some other pretty significant credits. So he's been with Remedy, I think, since the beginning, and he's managed to keep his role there preserved. Remedy Studios, boy, they've been at it for a while. First games, of course, were the Max Payne games. We remember back to the first one that used the photos plastered over the 3D models. Sam Lake gave his face for the title character. So he's playing old Max Payne, but once again, didn't voice the character. But it's kind of funny. I think James McCaffrey is doing the voice for our Casey detective here. So this is a similar situation where we've got the likeness of Sam Lake and the voice of James McCaffrey. So, I mean,
You're the one who wanted to switch.
I think I hear someone.
I'm kind of thinking that this is sort of a nod to that. I almost bet you if they still had the rights, Remedy, that is, to the Max Payne series, they probably would have just made this guy Max Payne, because he is a detective after all. But I think at this point, those rights are still in the hands of Rockstar, and they're probably not willing to give them up, despite the fact that they haven't made a Max Payne game in ages. But it is what it is.
Hey there. Agent Casey, right?
Hey there.
Sheriff Breaker said you'd be coming by to take over the case.
You're half right. Anderson?
Saga Anderson. I'll be leading this case. Seems you already know my partner, Alex Casey.
I'm in charge here.
Shoot. Sorry about that, ma'am. I'm Deputy Mulligan. I just figured that, you know, that, Federal agent's right here, Thornton. My partner, Thornton, down at the crime scene. He's not what you call the sharpest axe in the shed.
Right here? What do you mean? Are they with you? Oh, shit! They didn't hear me, did they?
What can you tell us about the crime scene?
Just ignore that, I guess.
Tell them about the heart.
I was getting to that, Thornton. Well, we reckon there are some organs that are currently outside the victim's person when they should be, well, you know, inside.
Yeah, this is usually the case.
Were there any witnesses?
Yeah, a couple out-of-towners. I wonder what they were doing sneaking around the woods at night.
Mention the city folk. It's pretty suspicious.
Not that we have anything against city folk, right, Thornton? But don't worry. Sheriff Breaker took them back to town a while ago.
I want to see the body. How do we get there?
Oh, sure, that's real simple. Just through the hole in the fence, down the hill towards the lake, around the old convenience store. You can't miss it. Everything's been closed since the area was fenced off. The store, the campground, all of it.
Hey, Mulligan, tell them I'm here waiting. I'll show them around.
They got it, Thornton.
Thank you. Even from the onset here, you can tell that the facial capture and the animations are really quite something. Just from like the little detail,
Before
the
we
hand
get to the crime
movements.
scene, there's time to review the facts of the case so far. Make sure I'm seeing the clues clearly.
All right, let's pull up that case board.
The Mind Place. My version of the Mind Palace technique. To
She's
sift
too
through
good to say
clues
Mind
about the
Palace,
case.
so she says Mind Place
Building the
instead.
Mind Place again for each case. Using each field office as a model in my head. The facts are on the board. Everything we know about the previous murders. Worth taking another look.
Case board is a mental technique that allows Saga to analyze clues and progress the investigation. You can use the right stick to move around. You can use LT and RT to zoom. You can use the left stick to move the cursor. You're now free to navigate the case board or leave by pressing B. Okay, so what do we got here? Cauldron Lake murders. A series of murders have occurred around the town of Bright Falls. Finding the connections will help our search for the killer. Murder method. Slight difference in murders, bloating only commonality in bodies, but not cause of death. Chest trauma. Exposure to water, post-mortem. Got bruising on the wrists and legs. This is additional notes. 2 of the victims had bruising of some form of restraint, strapped or belted down. Deep gash in the chest, heart missing. Most recent victim died of a major chest trauma, consistent with the 2018 victim. Hard to confirm due to condition of body. All bodies experience bloating. Bloating of the corpse is indicative of drowning, but only 1 victim was found in water. Victims, all victims reported missing in 2010, no other commonalities. Ted Lane, dentist, stab wounds, bloating, bruising on the wrists. The victim was reported missing in 2010, discovered in 2012, buried in a shallow grave. Wendy Davis, teacher, body bloated, large chest wound. Found in Cauldron Lake, 2018, some organs missing. Predation, state of body does not match 8 years spent in a lake. Found 2 weeks ago. This is Percy Wolf, store owner, bruising, heart removed, strange tattoos. Chest wound was ruled as cause of death. Tattooing on the body is illegible. And we have killer profile. So we need to talk to someone to get some more clues on that. And then let's see here. Postmortem tattooing on the body. Victim number 3 covered in illegible tattoos. Message from the killer maybe, or their art, quote unquote. The murder targets have no discernible common traits. Apart from going missing in 2010, all victims have nothing apparent in common. And chest trauma resembles animal butchery techniques. Killer may be a sportsman or a hunter. So that's what we get out of that.
I see you're already hard at work, Anderson. Close to cracking it?
We're just getting started. Let's head down the hill to the crime scene.
All right.
Fucking nature. Gives me a headache. There's too much sky.
Yep, there sure is a lot of it up there. But so far, the visuals look pretty sharp. I think the most common trait I've seen praised for this game so far is the visuals.
Why now?
Look, Anderson, you're a better detective than I am. You've cracked cases that had the rest of us baffled. I don't want to slow you down.
Are you thinking of retiring? You know what happens to cops who say this is their last case.
Mm-hmm. Real funny, Anderson.
Take a look around, even though it's pretty heavily wooded. Case at Cauldron Lake. Rampage at the rental cabins. Unidentified man attacks vacationers at dead of night. Sunday, an idyllic evening of barbecuing and late-night fishing was violently disrupted Saturday as a mysterious assailant attacked park visitors, causing chaos and destruction in the cabins. The incident left 3 people injured, one of which has been admitted to the county hospital. As to whether the attacker is still at large, Bright Falls police have yet to make an official statement, leaving local residents in a state of uncertainty. Witnesses to the crime were visibly shaken, one of whom stated, "For 1 minute we were laughing and toasting some marshmallows. The next we heard screaming coming up from the cabins. We didn't know what was going on, so we called the police and started running in the opposite direction," said Kurt Mill. Another eyewitness who preferred to remain anonymous said, "It's like he appeared out of nowhere. Suddenly my dog starts barking his head off at this psycho guy comes crashing through the trees. Don't think I'll ever feel safe in the forest again." A representative from the rental cabins, who chose to remain anonymous, wanted to remind customers, "If you have plans to stay in our lovely cabins later this summer, please get in touch with us, as we always need to rejigger some of the reservations based on the state of the cabin that you have rented with us." The representative went on to further remind future potential guests of the wonderful amenities that can be found in their company's brochures on the website, which is real nice, state-of-the-art. My nephew made it, and he's a real computer whiz. Was this published? Real computer whiz, you say, eh? Does a hike a day keep depression away? Missing Doberman found on the trail. Just going to scroll through that because this is a lot of text. So if you want to pause and read at your leisure, you are free to do so. But, maybe the attacker thing is more pertinent than the rest of them. Who knows? Could just be one of the shadows. So in the original Alan Wake game, it's hard for me to piece together exactly what happened. I think I played that back in 2018, so it's been a little while. But Alan Wake is a writer. And he went to Bright Falls, where we are now, to clear his head, get his head back in the game, because he was having writer's block in the busyness of the New York City areas where he was. If he wasn't there, then he was like in Seattle or something. I don't know, because this takes place in Washington. But he rented out the lake cabin that was at the Cauldron Lake here, and he was finding that his writings were coming true. But he was finding manuscripts that he hadn't himself written yet, but they were definitely written by him. And they would describe events that had either had happened or were happening currently or were yet to be. And he was finding himself attacked by this encroaching darkness, which had hidden shadow people in it that would attack him. So there was a bunch of stuff.
Okay to jump down?
I'm not that old.
That happened, and eventually it led him to confronting the darkness in the lake. And I guess since that time, he's disappeared. We don't know what's happened to him. In reality, despite the fact that it had a huge open ending and the game garnered a cult following fan base, yeah, unfortunately, the original Alan Wake just did not make that much money. So they couldn't do a sequel just because it wasn't really lucrative. Mirror Peak, the mighty mountain in the distance, is none other than Mirror Peak, the iconic landmark overlooking Cauldron Lake. From the right angle, its beauty will be reflected on the calm surface of the lake, mirrored in all its inverted glory. But yeah, unfortunately, Remedy just kind of has not that great a track record with successful games. I believe Alan Wake was their first game after they had done the Max Payne series. They didn't even work on Max Payne 3. It was Max Payne 1 and 2, which were pretty dang successful. Releases on multiple consoles, sold a lot of copies. And eventually, I think by that point, they had sold the rights to Rockstar. So Rockstar had developed Max Payne 3, which I thought was a pretty good game. A lot of people liked it. It was more casualized than some of the previous renditions, the first two.
I'll be back in a second.
Roger.
But I liked it quite a bit, even though it felt stylistically different, very different, than the kind of hard-boiled detective feel of the original two. But yeah, I think the next game after that ended up being Alan Wake.
I can't leave here yet.
I played that.
Lots of work left to do.
Back in 2018. I thought it was pretty good. My one complaint about it was that it kind of went on for a little bit too long, and there wasn't a whole lot of variety in the gameplay. So, you know, it kind of tedious. It was interesting. I liked the writing of it, and I liked the setting and everything. But yeah, it went on for quite a while. And from the looks of it with this one, it looks like we might have things mixed up a little bit more. So hopefully it's not going to be quite as droning as the first game. Waterfalls, a powerful feat of nature, revive the spirit as it does the surrounding nature. Churning, grinding waters at the bottom of the falls resemble a mortal pestle, quite like the one in the Witch Cauldron Lake. Quite like the one the Witch of Cauldron Lake is fabled to have used to travel through the night sky. Beautiful nature. Bunch of shit lying on the ground here.
Kid's lunchbox? An Alex Casey movie lunchbox. Casey hates the endless jokes about coincidentally having the same name as a fake detective. He hates those cheesy crime books, but he really hates the movies.
Okay. But Dad used to say, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. Not sure where the tough get going to, but maybe you'll find it inspiring. 2 manuscript fragments. Manuscript fragments can be used to upgrade weapons in the Mind Place. Interesting. Sure we can't do that yet. But this registers as a new case. Alex Casey lunchboxes.
Finding a Casey movie lunchbox out here can't be a coincidence. Another message?
It is kind of weird. Seems a little close to the lamp. Writer of the note is leaving these to inspire someone. Are they really for me? I wouldn't assume that right away. Maybe they are. Anyway, after Alan Wake and the non-success that had, I believe they entered a partnership with Microsoft by that point, and they developed, I think their next game was Quantum Break. Quantum Break, another
Welcome
exclusive.
back, Anderson.
Not a bad place to get murdered.
If getting back to nature is your thing.
I think that was also, that might have been for the Xbox One by that point. So Alan Wake was exclusive. They might have already entered a partnership with Microsoft at that point, though, I guess.
Damn. Should have brought an umbrella.
I like the rain. The only thing around here that feels like home.
You think the
Considering
local
that
law had the
the
sense to put
first
up a
Alan
tarp?
Wake game
If they did, next coffee's on me.
was an Xbox exclusive. So it might have been a similar situation by that point, and they might have already had a partnership established with Microsoft. I attempted to stream Quantum Break years ago, I think probably shortly after Alan Wake, just to see what the next game they made was like, but, well, we'll get into it. Let's see what happens here at the general store.
Hey!
Deputy Thornton, I take it.
That's me, at your service, ready to get this case solved. Now the body's behind the store. Come on, I'll show you. So, FBI, huh?
That's what it says on the jacket.
Cool. Hunting down psycho serial killers and shootouts with the mob?
You forgot the UFO cover-ups.
What? Those are real? You guys hiring?
Let's just see this body, shall we?
Casey has a sarcastic and dry sense of humor. I feel like that especially lends him to the Max Payne persona.
Now this is the scene of the crime. We found him on the table. And we didn't touch nothing, you know, procedures and stuff.
Thanks, Deputy.
No tarp.
You owe me a coffee.
Okay, let's start by examining our guest of honor.
Hey.
Does this fit the MO of the previous murders?
Don't disregard that.
Body is positioned on the table.
You owe the man a
Ritualistic.
coffee. You've unlocked your first key image. You can place it on the case board inside the Mind Palace. I gotta do that right now. Right this very second.
Another body turns up just as we arrive in town. Coincidence?
I think not. Placing key image on the case board begins a new line of investigation. When key image is placed, it will prompt a new question. Objectives are viewable at the case board and your goals. Why? Investigate the crime scene. Yep, that's what I was gonna do, but you had to stop me.
Step
Yeah.
1. Examine the corpse.
Yeah, thanks. I was gonna say, keep rudely interrupting me. I remember the first Alan Wake game not being that hard of a game, but here we've got bloody corpses and, you know, gore and
Wanna
murder
start by
and
inspecting the body, Anderson?
penises. I'm like pretty damn sure that the first Alan Wake game was rated T, so go for a hard M on this one.
Bruising on the wrist from the cargo straps holding him down. The killer left the heart right next to the body. Inside stab wound. Chest cut open. Heart removed.
Guess let's put those up here. This is consistent with previous killings. Heart found near victim's body. Heart was removed, but then left on the table near the body. Was this murder interrupted?
Heart removed from chest. Strapped by the wrists. Definitely matches the previous murders. But this time the heart and the straps were left behind. More clues to work with. This makes 4 murders that we know about.
All right. Clues have resolved the open question and unlocked a deduction. As you advance the investigation, new questions will be unlocked, updating your goals. To investigate the crime scene, learn more about the victim, and learn more about the killer.
Who is our victim? Who killed him? Need to find more clues. Any idea who the victim is?
Oh, I sure do. His name is Nightingale. He was FBI. He came to town about 13 years ago. I haven't heard a word about him since. Well, until now.
Nightingale? Robert Nightingale?
Oh, yes. You probably knew him. Brothers in arms. Oh, and sisters.
Doesn't look like a nightingale. Yeah, he looks pretty dead to me.
So you knew our victim?
Well, I didn't recognize him in his current state. But yeah, I ran into him a few times at Quantico. Never worked any cases together. After his partner got killed in the field, he went off the deep end. Got the boot pretty quick after that.
So what happened to Nightingale after the Bureau let him go?
I only know the rumors. Depression led to booze, booze led to paranoia. He got some wild ideas in his head, chased ghosts until he fell off the map. Guess he ended up here.
I bet there's more to that story.
But no happy ending.
Nightingale went missing 13 years ago, 2010.
The same as all the other victims.
Certainly fits the pattern.
Same as when the first game
What
came
was
out.
going on that year?
Probably something this town wants to forget.
Yeah, the release of the first game. Okay, let's see what we got. Casey, Nightingale went off the deep end. FBI fired him. Thornton victim is Robert Nightingale, last seen in Bright Falls 13 years ago.
Robert Nightingale, ex-FBI, came to Bright Falls 13 years ago. Was he killed here, or brought here after? For display?
Well, there's a lot of blood, but I guess blood could still be in the body and exit.
Large amount of blood on the table. The victim died here.
Yeah, kind of my feeling.
Multiple people were here. Multiple killers? Someone was drinking beer. They spent time here, waiting.
Anyway, we could get any sort of forensics on that?
Someone left in a hurry. Knocked the tripod over. Was it for a camera? Boot prints, indicating multiple killers. Quite the party. They planned for the murder to happen here, passing the time with equipment ready. They were waiting for him. But why Nightingale? He's been missing for 13 years. Why here? Why now? Profiling. Get into the subject's head. See what they saw. Feel what they felt. Use whatever I know about them to guide my intuition to a revelation. Piece it together. Agent Nightingale has been MIA for 13 years. How did he end up here?
Up from the lake that's not a lake. It's dark. He was there too. You are not allowed in the lake until he says otherwise.
Robert Nightingale came from the lake, before his murder. Nightingale was chosen as the victim. Why?
Like the switch, it goes click. Lights are off. But somebody's home. Somebody's home.
This wasn't some random act of violence. This was a ritual. And Nightingale a component. They didn't see him as a person. More like a container for something.
I feel that Nightingale came from the lake, but why now after 13 years? Where has he been? I don't know.
The lake
Figure
is
that
connected
out.
to Nightingale somehow. Casey, Let's take a look down by the lake. Lead the way.
Sounds good. This way, right?
Right.
Well, okay. Well, I'll just wait here.
You do that. All right. So.
This one of your hunches, Anderson? Did something happen at the lake?
I think Nightingale came up from that direction. From the lake. Probably looking for shelter. Safety. They were waiting for him.
When you're ready, I'd love to hear what you put together so far.
Sure. It's not that complicated. Nightingale was out in the woods alone at night, possibly nude. The killers knew he was here, ambushed him, dragged him to the campgrounds, strapped him to the table, cut his heart out. But then they were interrupted by those witnesses, the Bookers. The job is unfinished.
That seems pretty complicated to me. What was this guy doing skinny dipping at this time of year?
Haven't figured that part out yet.
Lots of questions.
Lots of answers for us to find.
Should be following him, but just taking a look around here. Witch's hut, though. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Completely passed it by. Here lived the witch of Cauldron Lake. Beware, her spirit may still haunt this place. Ooh, spooky. Oh, you didn't have to barge in there like that, but alright. Nothing going on. Don't see any items or pickups in there. So going back to Quantum Break. I had played that, I think after Alan Wake. I think the idea was I wanted to play a game and see what they had done after the fact. Kind of came to a part where you have to watch a basically 40-minute television series to understand the plot of what's going on. And I think you could make some decisions or something regarding that. I forget exactly. What is this? Friday, Midge told me that her family's moving away. This sucks. Haven't even told her I liked her yet. What's the point anymore? Said her parents want to get better jobs and get her better school in a big city. I guess that's fair. Who wants to stay in Bright fucking Falls? Sunday, so I told her. She said thanks. Fucking kill me. Monday, snuck out last night again. Went to the big house by the lake. Instead of just watching it from here like I always do. Instead of just sitting around like I always do. Screw that. Anyway, something weird is going on down there. Might find out what. Going to go back there tomorrow with better gear. Bet I can find a way inside the building, take some photos. It's going to be epic. Sounds like somebody from like the mid-2000s.
A lunchbox again.
Oh.
Who's leaving these out here?
I know things can get a little crazy around here, but if you're ever feeling scared, just remember that Alan is watching over us. Alan Wake. Only one manuscript fragment from that. Not that much. Overall, the gameplay and stuff for Quantum Break seemed fine. I thought it seemed like an okay game, but boy, Remedy's got this thing. They've got a hookup where they
still in one piece, Anderson.
Love TV. In particular, Twin Peaks. They are huge fans of Twin Peaks over there. And they try to replicate television as best they can at every single opportunity from the looks of it. Even in some parts of Max Payne, you can kind of feel the television series influence from it. But especially when you start getting into Alan Wake, every chapter of the game is episodic. It
can't go any further.
Ends with a licensed song and credits. So you could tell that they were trying to do somewhat of a television series with it. Even though some of the cutscenes and dialogue segments were pretty long, still felt like a game.
Lost, Anderson. I didn't know trees got that big.
That's a pretty damn big tree.
Creeps.
You need to get out more. It is kind of creepy, though. There's a piece of paper on the ground. Tracks.
Pick that up.
Barefoot. Nightingales? They come out from under the boulder.
It makes no sense.
Big and open last time we saw it.
A page full of text on one side. Not a printout. Written with a typewriter. Old school. Lines scratched out and edits added with a pen.
Like a manuscript. Page of a story. The killer left a message.
It's for us. The text is about us. The victim was one of their own. FBI Special Agent Robert Nightingale. And then there was the page they found. The first step down into terrifying depths.
Reading
the
words.
words.
These words felt like a message.
Felt like a message.
Someone knew they were here. Someone playing a game with them. An invitation. How could they not accept, even if they knew it would end up hurting them?
Someone's been watching us.
Playing a sick game with us.
You were right. This is right up my alley. Nightingale came this way. Either he dropped this page, or the killers left it for us.
Profiling.
We found a page in the woods. A story about these events. What is Nightingale's role in this?
I carry his words close to my chest now. Inside, the awful truth. You must dig it out.
Something was put inside him. In his chest. I must find out what.
The victim was one of their own. FBI Special Agent Robert Nightingale, gone missing here 13 years ago. Now he had suddenly turned up, only to be murdered in a brutal ritual on the very day of their arrival. And then there was the page. This page, the first page that they had found, not the last. The first step down into terrifying depths. Secret truths trembling beyond the threshold. Reading the words, these words, felt like a message. Was a message. Someone knew they were here, what they were doing. Someone playing a game with them, leading them on. An invitation. How could they not accept? The sheer audacity of this impossible mystery presented to them.
Audacity?
Even if they knew it would end up hurting them.
I'm sorry, you spell audacity with an A and a U. That does not make an O sound. Maybe it's just me, though. Okay, footprints emerging from under the rock. Victim came from there, I suppose. And trail's gone cold.
I think he came from the lake. But his tracks make no sense.
It seems like a TV show. Yeah, and like I said, with the original Alan Wake, it was kind of TV series-like, the way that they structured it, the way that they made it sort of like this episodic format. But with Quantum Break, yeah, it's like they went whole hog into the thing, and they ended up making a 40-minute like live-action TV series. And I think there was like 4 or 5 episodes or something. I remember downloading the file for it, not knowing exactly what it was, and it was huge. But like, yeah, a full-fledged series that you had to watch in order to play the game. I'm sorry. Remedy, I appreciate the uniqueness and the ideas, but yeah, when I want to play a video game, I want to play a video game. I don't want to watch a TV series. So, you know, it was kind of my fault, sort of, for not wanting to participate in that, but still, I haven't gone back to it. New case, you say? Oh, it's another one of those lunch boxes. Okay. But yeah, one of these days I think I'll go back and I'll give it a try. Like I said, it seemed like the gameplay mechanics when you're actually playing the game seem fascinating enough, but
I think something's been put inside Nightingale's body.
not something I
Let's
wanted
tell
to
the
stream,
deputies to get
for
the
sure.
body to the town morgue.
Okay.
We played games with long cutscenes before. I mean, like, heck, I love Guns of the Patriots, and, you know, people like watching that, and some of the
Whoever wrote that
cutscenes in those
page made
games
sure it read
run
like a
close to
story.
30 minutes, but
Like a scene from a thriller.
I hate all of it. The text said we'd find more. I believe it.
But what's the purpose? They're twisting events to create their own narrative. To do what? Entertain some fantasy? Projecting their desires? Are we characters or the audience? Witnesses to their design? All the above?
It's all about control. Deciding what happens to who. Don't let it drag you in.
Too late. I'm already hooked. I need the next chapter.
And I was sort of getting those similar sort of vibes with Control. Control was another game I was actually thinking of streaming at some point. I might still might, but...
I hope you didn't get stuck in any of those big puddles. Crazy flooding down there, huh? Just like I said.
Deputy, I want the body taken back to town for a proper examination, ASAP.
Well, sure. But the coroner won't be back in town for another week after Deerfest.
Not a problem. I'll do it myself.
Oh, and Sheriff Breaker called to say he's got the Bookers at the Oh Dear Diner in town. Oh, and I've got a key to the gate. It's a shortcut back to the parking lot just up the hill.
You taking that, I guess? Thanks.
Thanks. Let's get the car, drive to Bright Falls, and talk to these witnesses, the Bookers.
At the diner, right? I could use a cup of coffee.
Let's try that shortcut the deputy mentioned.
We just had one on the way over here. Man loves his coffee. But anyway, yeah, with Control, it seemed like a fascinating
Seems like a nice
game.
town so far. Murders aside.
Seemed like it might have the same issues though, and I remember
Few lodge we
reading
got set up in.
some people giving it similar
We should go for a hike
criticisms
if
that
we
I
get a
had
chance.
for Alan Wake, but
Now you're just being mean.
it's just the gameplay doesn't seem like it's all that
Deputies aren't
varied,
exactly up to
and
the
it
task,
ends up
but
being a fairly
hopefully the sheriff
long
will be more
game on
helpful.
top of that. So
Surprise about the deputies.
it's like you go too long doing the same thing over and over again, you're gonna get bored of it after a while. And I'm afraid that might be the same case with Control now. Of course, when I'm streaming it, more motivation for me to actually finish the thing, but it doesn't always work. So we'll see. One of these days I might go back and check out some of their older catalog, but
There's another lunchbox.
we'll see how it goes. Maybe after this one I'll have a good feel for what they might be doing. We're all in this together, hero. Have a heroic day. 2 fragments from that one. Oh, there's a button prompt to get down, but just like slide down, I guess.
Can't fit the clues all together yet. Heart removed, tripod, tracks leading to a dead end.
A tripod for a camera? To record a snuff film?
Maybe. And why take out his heart just to throw it away?
To stuff in.
Casey, what are you doing? Getting your exercise in? Okay, now here he comes. Having a little problem with the pathfinding, I see. Think he got it all sorted out now. I don't know where exactly the parking area is, but I think we found it. Okay, got stuck myself there for a second. This area seems pretty expansive. I get the feeling like if I walk, oh, there we go, too far, she might say
I'm not done here yet.
something like that. Actually, you are done here, because we're leaving.
Here we are.
So, might as well check and
Let's
see
right
if
back
there's
to
anything
town
in the
and meet
surrounding
sheriff
area.
At the diner.
Oh well. Bright Falls, let's head over.
I can't get that manuscript page out of my head.
Huh?
I've never seen killers reach out so directly before.
Audio cut out for a
Damn
second.
impressive work so far. With your technique, these hunches were moving fast.
I wasn't sure about taking a case so far from home, but I'm thrilled to be here for this mystery. Need to swing by the lodge to get anything from the field office?
No, I'm all set.
I'll park there anyway. I want to walk to the diner, get a feel for the town.
I started this game a couple days ago. I was questioning, when does this game take place? Is it still like 10 years ago or whatever? Because I was taking a look at their cars. I looked at the cop
The
squad
diner's
car.
just up the waterfront. Shouldn't keep the sheriff
I
and
took a
our
look at their
witnesses
car,
waiting.
and boy, it looks old.
Coffee.
Point of interest cases track objects and information that Saga has acquired to the chart collection progress. Okay. Doesn't mean a whole lot to me, but all right. But anyway, yeah, just old looking cars, like they came from probably the 2000s. And it's the same for everything else around here. I guess they're probably going for probably specific theming or something like that, but yeah, some ancient looking stuff. I guess it fits a particular tone, though, doesn't it? Been a while since we've been in Bright Falls.
Just how much coffee have you had today, Charlie? Don't know, don't care.
Excuse you.
How much have you had? Not enough. That's how much. Never enough coffee. Oh, that's rich, bittersweet nectar. Get it in coffee world.
Not to toot my own horn, but I am.
Everybody loves their coffee. Coffee World at the Oh Dear Diner.
We'll be the belle of the ball at this year's Beer Fest.
Problem with turning up the subtitles to large size here. When you have overlapping conversations, they're just going to overtake the screen.
Let me guess. The FBI. Welcome to
How could you
Bright
tell?
Falls. It's nice to have you here. I got you both some coffee. Oh, it's Washington's finest.
Nice to meet you, Sheriff. I'm set for coffee.
You know, I wouldn't say no to another.
I'm Agent Saga Anderson. This is Agent Alex Casey.
Tim Breaker. And let me just say, I'm happy you two are here. Frankly, we could use the help.
Yeah, this is weird, because I was questioning this when we had started this game last time, but that is definitely Sean Ashmore. He's had a handful of roles. I think probably a lot of people, maybe around my age, remember him as Bobby Iceman from the X-Men movies. But I think it's weird that they cast, maybe it's not terribly weird, but I feel like ever since probably Alan Wake, or at least Quantum Break, that they would, it seems like Remedy has been wanting to do this shared universe thing. And this guy, Sean Ashmore, he played the lead character in Quantum Break, so I find it weird that they cast him in another role here. I don't know.
Your deputies said you had a couple of witnesses here.
They made them sound like suspects.
Mulligan and Thornton are still on about that? No, the Bookers don't strike me as the murdering type, but you can decide for yourselves. They're just inside having coffee and pie to calm their nerves.
I'll see what they have to say. Casey, you compare notes with the sheriff.
Take your time.
Coffee and pie. Ever since I started this game, originally, that coffee and pie sounded so good, I went out and got myself my own pie. Past couple nights, I've been having coffee and pie.
But it's slowed down ever since Cauldron Lake was fenced off.
Let me guess. Missing person.
Excuse me. I'm Agent Saga Anderson. Are you the Bookers?
That's us. I'm Tammy, and he's Ed.
Hello, officer.
Just Saga is fine, Ed.
So, are we being charged with anything? Because if not, we'd love to get back to our hotel and decompress after what we saw. Take a bath, scream into pillows, that kind of thing.
We're not charging you. I just have a few questions. Nothing to stress about, okay? So what did you see in the woods?
This naked dude came out of the lake, and he was acting crazy, shouting weird shit at us. He must have been on something.
Unless skinny dipping at dawn is a thing around here.
Then we heard shooting. We ran into these psychos in deer masks. They were tearing into the naked guy with knives, like some kind of satanic cult.
Nobody else seems to be disturbed about this or in the surrounding tables.
And called the cops.
What were you doing at Cauldron Lake last night?
I'm a writer. True crime. We're here from New York, doing some research on a famous novelist, Alan Wake, who went missing here. I was down at the lake, getting some details. Perfectly legal.
Well, it's fenced off, so not really.
What makes you say it was a cult?
The masks and knives aren't enough.
They were shouting, "Cult of the tree, the cult of the tree, cult of the tree." Oh, and then we found it. The whole thing was terrifying. That's all.
Found a what now?
The cult of the tree. What aren't the Bookers telling me?
I found their necklace. The symbol is 2 triangles.
The cult wants their spruce tree bag, Tammy.
Finders keepers, Ed. My publisher will want this on the cover.
Tammy found something. A necklace belonging to one of the cultists.
How'd you gather that out of nothing?
The Bookers were at Cauldron Lake. Why?
I mean, I figured they must have taken something from the crime scene, but got the shape down and everything.
Fell in the lake.
Private party. No trespassing.
My book has questions. Past the bolt cutters.
They broke in for the sake of Tammy's book. Nothing to do with a murder. They were telling the truth. So you found something there, right? A necklace these cultists may have dropped.
Okay. Wow. How did you put that together?
It's evidence. You need to hand it over.
I'm a little shocked as well.
Thanks. This could prove to be helpful. Do me a favor. Stick around town for now in case we have any more questions.
Like we'd even dream of missing dear Fez.
Oh, God. Saga! Saga Anderson. As I live and breathe. I thought we'd never see you back here after that awful, awful thing happened to your baby girl. How are you? I'm sorry. Who are you? I don't know what you're talking about. It's me, silly. Rose. You know me.
I don't think I do. And what horrible thing happened to my baby girl?
She drowned. Your daughter. That's so weird you don't remember.
How do you know I have a daughter?
Oh, I know what this is. You're blocking out your traumatic memories. Happens on TV all the time.
No. You're mistaking me for someone else.
If you say so.
Awkwardness of the dialogue. You'd have to imagine it's intentional, just given how awkward and stiff it is, but yeah, it's it's a little weird. Yeah, the weird waitress.
Hey there, Mr. Deer. You remind me of a dream I had.
Hair freaked out there for a second. It's also weird to have a deer head, mounted deer head, just like in the back like that, but alright. Map of Bright Falls. Oh. No, I didn't want to go in there. We're not ready for the Mind Palace yet.
To force this open.
Unless I could use that necklace. I don't think there's a way we're doing that. Men's restroom.
I can't get through this.
Urinals in there. Somebody's burger order is up. Jukebox is out of order. Poor old thing can only take so much of the same song being played over and over and over. I'm as big a fan of Coconut as the next person, but come on. Well, now I want to hear it. What is Coconut? I have those old rocker guys hanging out here. Wonder if they died. It was over a decade ago, and they were pretty old.
All set? My guys have Nightingale at the morgue if you're ready to go take a look.
Let's go. Well, Casey, I got a lead. Looks like we're dealing with a cult. The cult of the tree.
A murder cult. Fuck.
Have you heard of this cult of the tree, Sheriff?
Only the urban legend. If you're in the woods at night, the cult will get you. That sort of thing.
We're not gonna find out you're the Grand Wizard or something, are we?
I played some D&D back in the day. Wizard was always my favorite class.
Morning, Sheriff. Looks like you have some guests.
Ah, morning, Ted. Yeah, real important guests. Deerfest. Always draws a crowd, right?
Too true. More the merrier. Have a good one, Sheriff.
Yeah, you never know with these small towns.
Hey, what do you know about that waitress from the diner?
Rose? Yeah, she's a bit of a space case. Always has been. Why? What'd she do now?
She kept saying that my daughter drowned. She even knew my name. It was all very weird.
Rose has a talent for saying the weirdest thing possible. But it's best not to take it personally.
Morgue examination room.
Hey, boss. Corpse is downstairs ready to go.
Yep, in the morgue, all prepped.
I'd like to take a closer look as soon as possible. Lead the way, Sheriff.
Oh, this is the Bright Falls Sheriff Station. Anything you need, just let us know.
We appreciate the support, Sheriff.
Have a nice day.
Some weird things happening here. Just saw Agent Casey phase through our sheriff's
So we
body.
share a morgue with the funeral home next door. It's a shoestring budget. I guess you guys don't have that problem, though. Our only coroner rotates between a few other towns, and he's away this week. But you can handle this, right?
I'm qualified to perform examinations. Yes.
Something about morgues. They always cheer me up.
I can't say I feel the same.
He's joking. Okay. Let's take a look at our patient. I'll start with the external inspection before performing the internal examination. What was the cause of death? What other clues
giant
can the
hole in
body
his
give me?
chest.
Aha. They did leave something inside his chest. This looks like text. A tattoo?
Nightingale didn't strike me as a tattoo guy. Defensive wounds. He put up a fight.
There's writing on here. Can't
heart?
make it out.
Writing? How'd they manage that?
Yeah, exactly.
The body shows signs of being submerged in water post-mortem.
Pull it up on the case board. Not this one, though.
Time to see what Nightingale's body can tell us.
Anything to learn from the body? Probably a few things.
Chest wound is cause of death, but the corpse is bloated, waterlogged. There's definitely something in his chest.
Interrupted you,
Did
sorry.
the killers leave it there?
Cause of bloating unknown. Strange tattoos on skin and heart. Something was inserted into the chest cavity. Just trauma was clear cause of death. As I suspected, it looked like something was put in there. Bruises, defensive wounds on victim. Looks like Nightingale put up a fight before they were strained. A bloating of joints indicates long-term water exposure. Victim was alive when strapped down. Timeline inconsistent with bloating. Ritual writing. Tattoos on body and heart. How do the killers have time? Doesn't make sense. Smudged text under the victim's skin. Some kind of tattoo. It's too smudged to read. Illegible words on heart. Did the killers write this on the heart? How? Can't make out what it says. I think it's weird she's doing all this without any gloves. Reach on in there. Free-handing it. Paper.
It's the same type of page we found at Cauldron Lake.
Nightingale hunted Saga. Didn't see her. The Taken could not see into bright light. Light hurt them, made them vulnerable. Nightingale had no heart, but here he was, killing.
Someone's created a fucked up fantasy about us.
Hey, hold on. We found these kinds of pages. I didn't think they were relevant to this case. I have them right here. No, wait.
That.
Sheriff?
What the hell? Show me the clicker.
Didn't see her. Could not see into bright light.
Zombie. It's a little weird, isn't it? I don't think in the first game we had any, like, dead people coming back to life. I don't remember if they called them Taken in the first game either, but, you know, the shadow people.
He's coming. No weapon.
Didn't strike me as people that were dead.
Said to get into the light.
Try to stay in the light to avoid being detected by enemies.
He can't see me in the light.
Kind of the opposite effect of most games. Normally you want to stay out of the light.
My gun's out in the hall. Gotta get it back.
To avoid being detected, but safe havens will restore some of your health. If you leave or attack from a safe haven while in combat, it will become temporarily unavailable. Let's go get it.
Get out of my house.
Shooting slightly reminiscent of the Resident Evil remakes.
Vanished.
And a chapter. He vanished, at least he's gone. It's gonna be credits and licensed music, or... Oh yeah. I'll go ahead and skip that just in case. That entire Alan Wake stream that I did of the first game, I think for a while, until companies started getting more lax about it on YouTube, which is nice. But yeah, I think for a time it had gotten muted pretty severely because of that. It was unavailable in a lot of places. But these days, it's not quite as much of a problem getting content claimed like that as it used to be. So hopefully they'll be lenient enough.
He didn't have a heart, but he still got up. The page predicted all of it. It helped me fight him.
Oh, he He just disappeared? What the hell is going on here?
We need to figure that out if we're gonna do anything about it. Somehow we need to make sense of this. Right before things got crazy, Sheriff Breaker just vanished.
Maybe the sheriff knew more than he was letting on.
He seemed anxious, like he dreaded what was coming. One more mystery. There's no rational explanation to what we just saw.
I'd love to blame this on mass hallucination caused by inhaling volcanic gas, but we both know that's bullshit. This was supernatural.
Well, I'm glad you were the one to say it. Now we can figure out a way forward. The victim of a ritualistic murder turns into a monster. Is there a connection?
Looks to me like the cult of the tree is performing rituals to create monsters.
Maybe. We need to start with learning this cult's goal. Their purpose.
I'm concerned for the police officers on the floor.
There's one of the pages on the floor.
I was having a heck of a time when I played this first time around because I did not know what was going on and what I needed to do to progress. We go here, we pick up the page.
Saga was back at Cauldron Lake. Saga had to pursue Nightingale into the overlap. Finding a way in would be difficult. A ritual. Saga would learn how. Stop the monster.
Read those manuscript pages. But then I started looking around and I'm like, what the hell's going on here? And taking a look to see if there's anything I could do. Go and investigate the officer over here. Nothing I could interact with. Door over here is locked. I think the door back in the morgue container area is locked as well. Let's check that out. So if you're stuck or unsure how to proceed, don't forget to check the Mind Palace. So you do that, go in here. You can check other things too if you want to read the manuscript pages.
The autopsy room was a mess, like a bomb had gone off. Nightingale hunted Saga. Didn't see her under the light, lurched past her. The Taken could not see into bright light. The light hurt them, hurt the darkness in them, made them vulnerable. I flick the switch, it goes click. Show me the clicker, lights are off, but somebody's home. Hemingway brought you here, witch. Get out of my house, Nightingale shouted. A wave of terror crashed through Saga's head. The awful truth. Nightingale had no heart in his chest, but here he was, killing a monster. The world had lurched out of balance. You found yourself trapped on the far side of the mirror.
So, I just remember things very vaguely about the first game, but I guess Hemingway was that other writer. There was another writer that was involved that also got sort of enveloped by the lake. Alan wasn't the only one. I think maybe that was the Hemingway. I don't know. Hopefully we'll have some sort of callback to that at some point. But the other thing was the Switch. Now, the Switch was what a lot of the first game was leading up to. Eventually, the crazy lady that kept the lamp around, that everybody thought was nuts around town, she was the one that had any semblance of sanity as to what was going on. And she ended up giving Alan the Switch, the clicker or whatever, which I don't remember if he used it to any full effect in the first game, but, you know, it would essentially turn on the light. So it was sort of a catalyst for things to come. But that still might have something to have a part to play in this game. We'll find out.
Saga was back at Cauldron Lake. He was there too. Nightingale was, but wasn't a Taken, a creature of darkness. He was beyond her reach, where some other strange reality, the dark place, merged with ours. This place and the dark place, a tarp thrown over top, drowning everything beneath it, a flood of darkness, soaking into everything, spoiling it, rotting it. The page called this area an overlap. Saga had to pursue Nightingale into the overlap. Finding a way in would be difficult, required precise steps, a ritual. Saga would learn how. Stop the monster before he killed again. Her job. He'd be inside, waiting for her.
These, again, were kind of similar to how they played a part in the first game as well. You'd find these manuscript pages, and they would sort of clue you in on what you were expected to be doing next. guess that's the song that ended the last chapter. Okay, so
A dead
Nightingale
man
attacked
turned into a
us.
monster. Light as a way to fight him. Pages predicting the future. There's no rational explanation. This is the case we must solve.
Any evidence to go with this? So this is where I had a problem when I was streaming this first time around. It took me a while to figure out what was going on here. But the game will not progress until you go into your mind place and look at the case board and place all the evidence that you can. And my problem was, I think it might have been a glitch too, because part of the reason why I couldn't find everything was that there were pieces of evidence that needed to be placed, but I did not, it didn't register as a new evidence piece that could be placed. Now, normally when you have cases that have pieces of evidence that could be put somewhere, you know, you take a look at the files here, there's going to be a little yellow dot. That wasn't showing up, so I think it might have been a glitch, but I didn't see that I had more evidence to be placed anywhere. So I kept, you know, I looked at here and I'm like, is there something I need to read specifically? I looked over all the manuscripts, and then I finally found out that there was some evidence that didn't get placed in a particular case, but the game wasn't showing me that I actually had it until I pulled it up. So yeah, I think it might have been a little glitch or something, but it took me like a good 10-15 minutes to finally find it. At least as far as this goes, let's see. I think I can put it here, or maybe I can.
We're dealing with an organized group of killers, not a lone serial killer.
But yeah, that aspect was
The cult
mildly
of the tree is
frustrating.
behind these murders. This case just became much more complicated. I'll need to start a new file. But it's my first cult case. Exciting.
Oh boy.
I need to know more about the cult of the tree if I'm going to shut them down.
Okay. Case the cult of the trees performing rituals to create monsters. What kind of cult? Cult goals and who's involved. It's pretty far out there. Getting part of the ritual. Nightingale was the only victim to become a monster.
Nope.
Okay. Victim of cult killing became a monster. I was getting them all wrong. Cult symbols.
Ugh.
Cult psychology. I think that might be all the evidence. Let's just double check. Got all that figured out. All right. I think we're
The
done.
page places Nightingale back at Cauldron Lake.
But anyway, that option there to talk to Casey, that would not pop up until I place those pieces of evidence. So kind of annoying sometimes. You basically get locked out of progressing until you go in and do the case board stuff. Hopefully it registers each time. I think this time it did. But when I initially tried this game out, it did not show me that I had new stuff waiting to be placed. So it got a little confusing until I entered the right case file and saw that the images at the bottom meant that I had some evidence that needed to be put up on the board. So, you know, if I ever find myself stuck again, I guess I'll probably have to try to remember to do that first time around.
Calls him a taken. We need to head over there, stop him, before anyone else gets hurt.
Okay.
Okay, then. Track Nightingale at Cauldron Lake.
We heard gunshots. Y'all okay?
Did you get spooked by the bodies?
No, there's a...
Sheriff Breaker disappeared. Nightingale turned into some sort of a monster, and there are offices down.
One of your officers is dead
We
here.
need to get back to Cauldron Lake immediately.
Fuck me.
Plus your sheriff's gone.
That's terrible. We'll do what we can, man.
They don't seem too concerned. That's terrible. They said it's terrible, but they, yeah, not really acknowledging the body at their feet.
Bert was missing. How could he do anything? He's dead.
Well, yeah, right. Well, that's crazy talk.
They're a fine pair.
Hopefully we don't get blamed for those dead officers and the disappearance of the sheriff, but it's like, where else could he have gone?
Good day.
Thanks.
Nightingale and his cult are dangerous. We need to be prepared in case things escalate more than they already have. Can you call it in, Casey?
A smart choice, Anderson.
Agent Casey here.
It's like fresh out of the 70s.
We need...
Bear. ASAP.
All right, more backup on the way.
Find Nightingale at the lake?
The pages haven't been wrong yet.
We can't assume the person writing these pages isn't playing us.
I agree. But it's our best lead.
For whatever reason, this town in particular seems to be more laggy than anything else. I'm getting frame drops to like 50. Sometimes I see it dip into the 40s. So I don't know. Let's see what we could do. Maybe we get some medium, shadow filtering, global reflections, low, fog quality, medium, terrain quality, medium, object level of detail, scattered object density. Let's put that on high. Maybe that helps at all. Doesn't look like it. In fact, it looks like it's performing worse, actually. Boy, let's see.
Or maybe 3.
No, it like jumped up for a second there. I don't know. I guess like this town in particular just seems to not be all that great. But yeah, walking through here, it's like it takes a bit of a dip. I wish it was a little bit more consistent, but I don't think that's something we're going to end up getting. Surprisingly, with the forest, with all the foliage in there, it was actually better performance. Might be the character models or something in the town here. I don't know, but nothing I changed seemed to do any good. So we'll get everything back to where it was, I suppose.
I need to come clean, Anderson. I know why Nightingale was here 13 years ago. He was chasing a writer, Alan Wake.
Tammy mentioned him. She's writing a book on his disappearance.
You know the detective character from his books, Alex Casey.
Yeah, I've heard the jokes at the office. Cold case Casey. Murder case Casey. Sorry.
Ha. It's the same name, similar job. It's the first thing anyone thinks of. It annoyed me, but that was it. Then, 10 years ago, I started getting strange letters in the mail. Fragments of prose describing murders. You've heard the stories about what happened in New York. Some of it, at least. Bodies started to pile up. It was a murder cult. Turns out the fragments sent to me were from the crime books of Alan Wake. The cult was copycatting the murders from the books. In their heads, they were performing a ritual to bring Wake back. Their imagined prophet. After that case, I started looking into Wake's disappearance on the side.
And you thought this case might be connected to him? His name does keep popping up.
I just wanted you to have all the facts.
Next time, give them to me before we find ourselves in the middle of a horror story.
I like reading some true crime stuff now. Return to the Heart. Not Return to the Heart, but I guess Return to is like chapter 2.
Need to figure out exactly what that means.
I'm happy I'm not in charge of this mess.
Thanks. Let's start looking for Nightingale where he was killed.
True crime stuff can be fun, but I think the medium is so
or because they can see what's coming.
Oversaturated at this
things
point.
Are happening here. A world operating on different rules. I need to understand this strange logic. To see the clues. To solve the case.
Yep, I get it. It's hard to like find good stuff. I used to listen. The one I used to listen to routinely was Last Podcast on the Left. As far as like true crime stuff goes, that was what I'd listen to stuff like that on
I've
at
been
work.
thinking more about the cult of the tree.
Sometimes just at
What
home.
sort of cult refers to themselves as a cult?
In my experience, they don't.
We're not seeing the full picture yet.
But they got a little weird as time went on. I feel like they were better in the early days.
Those restricted area signs don't do a damn thing, huh?
It looks like they're working on something.
Hello, Saga Anderson. Are you two supposed to be here?
I'm Ilmo Koskela. Fantastic to meet you. And yes, Stephen here hired me to show him through the woods. He's in town on important government business, fixing this impressive piece of hardware.
I work for the FBC, ma'am. I'm authorized to be here.
And I bet you two are here about that murder. Nasty stuff. How's it going?
How did you hear about the murder, Ilmo? Do you know anything that could help us?
People tend to tell me things. The Koskela brothers are kind of a household name around here. Speaking of, if you're looking for some fun, stop by Watery. Just down the road from Bright Falls, there's our Coffee World amusement park. There's sauna ja vihta. And we offer a variety of guided tours, hunting, fishing, hiking, whatever strikes your fancy. You name it, we probably got it.
What is this thing?
It's just a monitoring station, ma'am. The Federal Bureau of Control checks volcanic activity and air toxicity levels. No need to worry, though. It's mostly for research purposes.
That's one gorgeous sweater, Saga. Looks Nordic.
Sweater.
I bet a family member made it.
Oh, it's from the Oh Dear Diner. Pretty sure it was purchased somewhere.
My mother made this sweater for me. How do you know?
I knew it. My mom used to knit those sweaters for me and my brother. Watery, my hometown, was founded by Finnish immigrants. So between your name and the sweater, I figured your family might be from Finland too. Suomi, Finland. Ulla, Karjalan piirakka.
Close. My mom's family is from Sweden originally. I don't know much about them beyond that. The sweater is just something to remember her by. Stephen, we're investigating a murder that occurred nearby. What can you tell me about your bureau?
Nothing that isn't classified, I'm afraid. But I don't know anything about a murder. Operations here are run by a different department. I'm just here to make some repairs. The wiring on this thing frays every couple months.
Yep, that's the raccoons. They grow real big here with teeth like you wouldn't believe. Can't gnaw right through a garbage can.
I know who this guy is.
Okay,
Kind of funny,
we're done
though.
for now.
I got you, Haikiri. I think you were playing this a bit before I did, though, so you might be ahead of me for right now. Might be catching up to you, though. We shall see. But thank you for that lurk. I appreciate it. Maintenance note. Clear signs of tampering. Signal was rerouted into a transmitter that is not one of ours. I fixed it so any alerts will come our way, but it's definitely concerning. Make a report from the investigations department. Leaving this here in case I'm not the next person to fix this thing. Fix this things. That might be a typo there. If you're reading this, check for tampering. We may want to put more secure metal casing around the whole thing so that the raccoons, quote unquote, can't get to it anymore. Steve Lynn, Chief Technician. Think I passed you? All right. I got you. Yeah, it didn't seem like you were on too much longer after you started this game, so I might have passed you at this point. I am going kind of slow considering we've been chatting it up about Remedy's projects.
Let's get to the murder site, Casey.
Reading out some of the log files, but that doesn't end up taking too much time.
A lot of things about this case keep bothering me. But one thing feels really off. Breaker's disappearance. I don't get the feeling Nightingale was responsible.
He was about to give you more of those pages.
Really liking it. I'm liking it so far. Some of the mechanics were bugging me when I started this the other day. The fact that you get locked out of the game if you don't place specific evidence and stuff was kind of bugging me. But the fact that I know about it now, probably going to happen less often. I think I did run into a glitch last time that prevented me from seeing that new evidence needed to be placed. So that was slightly annoying. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. But overall, so far, it's been pretty nice. I'm liking the theme and the tone of everything. The fact that it's a M-rated game now. I'm not one of those people that says, oh, it's automatically better if it's more adult-oriented. But considering that it's a little harder than the first game, I think that makes some of the themes a little bit more impactful. So I'm sort of enjoying the darker tones as opposed to the first game, which is a little more lighthearted in nature. So you never know. Still waiting to see Alan, though. I mean, it's been 13 years since that first game. Not that it's been that long for me, but, you know, keep that on the DL. But I'm still waiting for him to make a physical appearance as opposed to some of these manuscript flashbacks or whatever. But, yeah, so far so good. I am enjoying it.
Something didn't want us to have them?
Glad you are, too.
Was protecting him from Nightingale? Spontaneous combustion? I don't know. Not the kind of disappearance we normally solve.
Anyway, last podcast on the left. Boy, they cover some. I mean, they cover any and everything involving any crime. I mean, a lot of times there's like a bunch of cult stuff, serial killers, UFOs, all sorts of stuff. And there's been some really fun episodes with them. And they do, you know, sometimes take the piss out of stuff, but boy, sometimes they go a little bit overboard, especially that Henry fella. He can get a little annoying sometimes, unfortunately. So can't always like binge listen to it because it gets a little grating after a while.
I never minded rain. Feels like home.
No sign of Nightingale.
Mentioned that last
the
time,
page
Casey.
Did place him at Cauldron Lake in an overlap. So how do we follow him there?
Maybe something around here will tell us.
Look, there's a carving on the table.
We've seen this symbol before.
Good eye.
After we find Nightingale, what then? I've never arrested a monster.
I've watched you arrest plenty of monsters, Anderson.
You know what I mean. Monsters. Light worked against him at the morgue. That might be the only way to stop him from hurting anyone else. Monsters? Overlaps? Rituals? What do you make of all of this?
The killers are usually the ones performing the ritual, not the detective. Acting out their sick fantasy. They may be trying to get you involved, forcing you into their twisted world.
But with dead men coming alive, the word ritual starts to have more weight behind it. We need to look around, learn what this ritual is.
Did I find what we needed to find here? Didn't seem like there was anything else we could interact with.
Bare feet. Nightingale.
feet from a
I'll see
bear.
where these footprints lead. Can you comb through the crime scene one more time, KC? Just in case.
On it.
I wanted to see what was over here.
I'll radio you.
Let me check through this real quick just to find out. Never know, might get another lunchbox or something. Lunchboxes are nice though, because we could potentially get a weapon upgrade or something. Not that we've used the weapon too much, but still, I think it'd be nice. But yeah, the aside from the Henry Zabrowski with the last podcast on the left being a little annoying after a while, just the guys in general, they just have such a bad attitude about things. Lake House.
Hello, this is Agent Anderson and Agent Casey, FBI. We'd like to come in and ask a few questions pertaining to an investigation. Nice talking to you, too.
But particularly the lead guy that kind of runs the show, does all the research and stuff like that. Him in particular, he's real angsty. And he's just been letting it kind of go a little bit more and more as time has gone on.
The creepy twig sculpture?
And, you know, he'll have a problem with establishments, governments, and religion. He just sounds like an angsty teen, and it gets grating after a while, especially after hearing the same rhetoric over and over and over again. Just needs to bring up the same points over and over and over again. And it's like, once you listen to something for a couple of years and you just hear someone making the same points, getting upset about the same shit. We get it. We get it. So, partially one of the reasons. And it's not even just him. It's like once he gets going, then it's the two other guys on there start to encourage it and they just beat each other off for all intents and purposes. So, it's like, fellas, just get to the crime, please. Let this be a warning to you, fellow trespassers. They say the lake is a caldera, something formed by an erupting volcano, or the sinkholes it leaves in its wake. But what if that's not true? What if it's something else, something less natural and more man-made, intentional? I say the lake's not formed, it's designed, and it has a purpose. The lake is a hiding place. Beneath the calm surface lies a secret machinery ready to be activated at the press of a button. And the people with the button, they're in that big house by the lake, preparing, I know it. First drawing, water line. Real caldera is made from volcano, lava. Second drawing, water line. Engineered structures, strange machines. Okay. It's like somebody was testing out what they wanted to do, what they wanted the symbol to be. Should it be intersecting triangles, repeating, reflected, adjacent? But it seems to be the one that they chose was overlapping triangles, which might lead to the whole overlap thing.
Hey, Casey. What's the far's favorite shape?
Please, Anderson. Just one case without the
A triangle.
I don't get it.
Yes, you do.
A little campsite here. I think this is where I was heading at the beginning of the game with our fat man. UFOs and you, the ultimate guide to spotting unidentified flying objects. Writing this down in case it happens again. I forget, I got that feeling. It hit me suddenly at 1:15 a.m. after I'd finished my AMA on the porch of the trailer. Got in the car and drove, chasing it. Starry night, not much moon. As expected, it led me past Bright Falls to Cauldron Lake, trying to find the right spot, the right emotion, right thought. Combination to have it all align and make it happen. Terrified it would. It didn't. Not this time. Frustrated but relieved. Scan the sky for shapes, the objects, nothing. When I blinked repeatedly, I think I saw the afterimage of an octahedron. Faded fast. When I got ready to drive back, I felt someone watching me. Here, but not here. It's him. I know it is. Does he know that I'm getting close? I'm on the right track. I was right to come to Bright Falls. At the bottom there, you get to see those little octahedrons, I guess. UFO watchers. Literal Easter eggs from the looks of it with this stuff. Of course, they're painted rocks, or I don't know what's going on there. How do you like knitting, or the knitting hero? I had it made just for you. I guess they're knitted little bundles. Got 3 manuscript fragments. Everybody comes to Bright Falls and Cauldron Lake for something. I suppose UFOs might be one of them. You know, I really have to get into, I think, what is it? Signal something? Something signal? I forget what it was. There's the voice. Actually, no. There's the Signal Simulator, I think is what I'm thinking of. But Voices in the Void was like a more fully realized version of that.
Flashbacks. Remember Ohio?
Sure. The North Side Slasher. But that case was completely different.
The trees, Anderson. He hid the bodies in the forest.
This appears to be a dead end. Can't seem to go that way. There's a little point where I could potentially get up on top of. Let me see if I can find that again. Here we go. Love the atmosphere here. This whole traipsing around the forest thing is pretty neat. Funny, with all these trees and all this rain going off, there was a slight hiccup there when I just started speaking, but otherwise, performance has been pretty dang good. For whatever reason, that city part just would not be able to keep up. I forgot we were actually tracking the footprints. Let's track them a little further before we start getting off the beaten path here.
The tracks lead into the water. Where'd he go from here? I can feel something.
Batman jump scare.
A presence. Nightingale isn't far.
Oh, hey, these boxes. I think they were in the first game as well. Little storage boxes. Of course, first game there'd be a light under, or they'd be under a light, which looks like it would be the case here, but there doesn't appear to be any electricity. Holdover, I guess, or a little reminder of what it used to be. Witch's Ladle. There's no mystery in Cauldron Lake being named after... Wait, there is no mystery in Cauldron Lake being named after its cauldron shape. And yet, there are many mysteries, or there are many mysterious stories about the lake. It being a gloomy doorway to the underworld, or of a witch whose cauldron the lake really was. Legend tells that when the affections of a local sheriff went unanswered, he accused the lady in question of having bewitched him. She was drowned, but her dropped ladle grew into a strange tree named Witch's Ladle. The woman returned to avenge her wrongdoers. She was not a witch before, she was one now. She killed the sheriff, drowning him in the lake. Then she took out his heart and locked it in a box. With the heart, she would summon him from the lake to exact revenge on her behalf, or so the legend goes. Sounds similar to what we're experiencing with Nightingale, maybe.
What is that? Seems like it's reacting to the light. These aren't the same tracks that were here before. They're headed into the tree, not out of it.
You can toggle flashlight boost to increase damage to darkness and burn through dark substance.
My flashlight burned the dark stuff away. It was covering another page.
The fuse was in place. Saga stepped into the witch's hut. Inside, a bright light. There were objects that stood out to Saga, as if the light had manifested them.
The witch's hut. Okay. I trust the pages to lead me to the overlap.
Oh, we've been there.
I know Nightingale is somewhere around Cauldron Lake.
The tree was a threshold. This place and the dark place. You're in over your head. Next stop, Caldera Street Station.
The threshold. Like a doorway. Leading to Nightingale. It's somehow connected to a tree. Witch's Ladle?
Guess so. Why is it still showing that I had a track? even though I didn't. Track unplayed, I guess I should say. Alright, well, actually, what did that manuscript say? Did we get a chance to read that? Son of a bitch.
This mug always cheers me up.
Can't even read it. Render in, please. There you go. Not the worst, Mom.
The fuse was in place. She found it among the junk in the forest. Saga stepped inside the witch's hut. Something rushed through her. A presence. Familiar. She couldn't quite place it. Something long forgotten. She tried to hold on to it, but it was already gone. Inside, a bright light. Saga felt safe. Like nothing could hurt her here. There were objects that stood out to Saga as if the light had manifested them, pulled them from the darkness. A shift in reality, heavy with hidden meanings. A coffee thermos, a shoebox, a mop and a bucket, a poster on the wall, and in the cabinet, another manuscript page.
Alright, so I guess we're supposed to find a fuse somewhere in the junk in the forest. There's a lot of junk in the forest here. But let's head back to the hut for right now, which... I forget exactly where that was. I think there was a ledge we could get up on top of here. I think last time I did that, it kind of got us to the hut. Here it is. God, look at all those sticks. All these sticks doing rolling down the hill.
Anderson, thought I saw something in the woods. Probably just a deer, but I'm gonna check it out.
Okay. I found another page. Following up on a lead. Keep checking in.
Roger.
Get the lights working in the witch's hut.
Missing a fuse. I need to find one to turn on the lights.
A lot of junk over here.
This
Look.
fuse is busted.
There's even stuff I can interact with. We came here previously. There's that journal. There's the lunchbox.
This one looks good. People should really stop littering, though.
Hey, if people didn't litter, you wouldn't have a fuse. Now would you? Break room is a place you can save progress. Cool.
Another page. Making progress.
The image of the witch in the sign. Saga addressed the witch. The smudged line on the heart. The second part recited from memory. I brought you the heart, witch. Show me the terror. Saga pushed the heart through the hole in the sign.
It's weird. Hold on, let me check something. It's like my mic popped for a second there sometimes. That means it gets disconnected, but I think we're all right. Let's do a manual save. Took us about the same amount of time to get here. Oh God. Chair's freaking out. The spookies are among us. Okay, so we can go back to the sign, but I don't think I've got the heart. Do I?
Witch's ladle, towering over Saga, watching her and the witch. The image of the witch in the sign. Nightingale's heart, a cold, dead lump in her hand. Her definition of sanity had changed since she arrived in this town. But she trusted the pages. Was forced to. Saga addressed the witch. She squinted to read the first part of the ritual words. The smudged line on the heart. The second part recited from memory. The words she had read on the page. I brought you the heart, witch. Show me the terror. Saga pushed the heart through the hole in the sign. This was the key. The tree was the threshold.
Okay, fair enough. Remember, you can quick access the map without entering the Mind Palace. Hold that down, I guess. Yeah. Alright, well. We know that we have to interact with the sign, but the thing is, I feel like I need the heart. I haven't gotten the heart. This Saga pocketed it at some point. Let's go back to Casey. I don't think any of this was open before. Monday, September 3rd. Some suspicious activity spotted. The fielder thought he saw movement in the bushes. Footprints around the area were found, but some were compromised by the fielder. Note to self, train the fielder. Tuesday, September 4th. Nothing to report. Some animals, regular. Wednesday, September 5th. Hunters out of the dark. Poachers? Heard some gunshots. Not one of ours. Gotta keep an eye on these people. They could get more than they bargained for out there. Can't do anything about that door.
Christ.
Oh, it was a deer. Always getting into places they shouldn't be. Open safe. Sleeping bags. Some adventure seekers out here, but why would they leave all their stuff? Toggle flashlight boost to burn through darkness surrounding enemies. I guess you have to hit the red part.
A cultist. A monster. Like Nightingale.
Using a trauma pad will allow you to heal. Applying a trauma pad takes longer, but grants larger health benefit. A lot of weird trophies. Maybe I could reload. Oh, there it is. That's the reload. Well, I'm glad the deer is okay. I'd radio Casey to see if everything was all right.
Saga edged toward the broken door, her gun ready, flashlight aimed ahead. Nightingale said it would be here. The Cauldron Lake General Store was overgrown, left to rot. Saga thought about the cult of the tree. They'd been here, waiting, planning a gruesome ritual murder. Meanwhile, they played cards in the general store, like it was just another late-night poker game. Saga stepped closer to the door. Had the animal broken it? There was a loud crash. Saga found herself face to face with a cultist, a hulking figure in a raincoat. We watch in the night, wild eyes behind a plastic deer mask, an axe in his raised hand.
There's something in there. You don't want to grab that? Okay. I was gonna say, how do I get this stuff? There are items and such, but... Trauma pad, quick slot. There you go. Batteries, too. I guess that's ammo down there. Grew bigger, okay. Item pack. Check with Lady Fortuna at the counter. I mean, I'm sure we could figure it out if we just were messing around with the combinations. Find out eventually, but let's see if we could find a code or something up front. Would be nice to have a shotgun, I think. 705, 713, 717, 723. Don't forget update code. Lotto, Washington, 5, 13, 17, 23, 39, 45. Well, okay. There's several codes here, but at least it seems like they start with 7, so lucky 7. Madam Agnieszki, palm reading, crystal ball gazing, interpreter of dreams, 202-555-0137. What's the correspondence with the numbers? Oh, 5, 13, 17, 23. Same as the lotto numbers. 39, 45. Maybe 739 or 745? There it goes. Now we have a shotgun. You can quick slot weapons from the inventory. You can also quick slot healing items and throwable items. Looks like the batteries has its own buttons, so I guess we could use that for something else. Here, you know what? Let's quick slot the guns to the side. What the hell? There you go. Was this shotgun ammo then? Is that why I couldn't pick it up before? I guess not. Oh, there it goes.
The solution has to be in here.
Solution? Solution to what? We found the gun. I think that's all that we need. Let's see, everything seems to be updated. Let's post our lunch boxes. The stuff automatically applying.
The page from the witch's hut seems to be describing some kind of ritual.
Yeah. Pushing a heart through the hole.
To get into the overlap, I need to find Nightingale's heart. Read the line imprinted on it, plus the line on the page to the witch's ladle sign. Then push the heart through the hole in the sign. Nightingale's heart disappeared from the morgue. Where is it now?
Oops, wrong button. Let's find out.
I need Nightingale's heart to get to the overlap. Where is it?
Cultist leaned close. He was there, but he was risen. Nightingale was there. The opposite of sunspots. Who said that?
That's not it. I don't have what I need to find Nightingale's heart. There must be more.
The heart. Where is it?
Nightingale's heart. Where is it?
You take the heart, Norman.
They played cards in the general store. The witch had stolen his heart. Get out of my house.
Nightingale's heart is at the general store, in a fridge.
Ah. That's why we had to look here. Just manifesting itself, huh?
The text on the heart is clearer now. Legible. Sounds literary. But what does it mean?
We have crashed on the far side of the bearer. I brought you the heart witch. Show me the terror.
Meanwhile,
I feel like I recognize this. The fridge. The heart. I knew it would be here. Like I saw it in a dream.
Kind of weird.
And now I need to give the heart to the witch. Makes total sense.
I'm still a little worried about Casey. You don't want to, like,
Casey, there are cultists in the area.
There we
They're
go.
taken, like Nightingale. Watch yourself out there.
Yeah, thanks for the heads up. I'm still finding my way back.
You have the worst sense of direction.
Any city in America I can get through drunk and blindfolded. It's these damn trees.
Okay. I'm en route to Witch's Ladle. I need to perform a ritual to open the overlap. This case just keeps getting weirder. But it is exciting.
I think I'm heading in the right direction, right? We can walk through this. No? Son of a bitch, we can't. But there is an item box. So I'll gladly partake that. I think that's the witch's cabin up here, so we could definitely get back to the lake. Or, not the lake, but the ladle. Don't forget to save often. I guess that's probably not a bad idea, huh? Just have to walk down through here. Oh, look, the light's on now. I don't know what that sound is. I think it's the rain hitting up some metal or something.
Good job, Saga. Now keep moving.
All right. I think I needed to hit a weak point. A couple of those guys, I might not have been hitting it. Didn't exactly register with me until I saw it on the second one. Had a little white patch on his head. Show me the terror.
The wave crashed on the far side of the mirror. I brought you the Heart Witch. Show me the terror.
Are you still on your way? Casey! Casey, do you read me?
Fuck. Okay, Saga. Going in solo.
Probably not the greatest idea, but alright.
Logan? Logan! Where are you?
What the fuck was that? Logan's back in Virginia. You're imagining things.
Now, they said she had a daughter, right? I've never heard Logan as a girl's name. And, you know, I've heard plenty of different names that could be used interchangeably for either gender. I mean, I've defended most recently, like the other day, I was saying, well, Nick could be a girl's name. It doesn't have to be completely masculine. Same thing with Whitney, I think, was another one. And Ashley. Remember talking about that? I think particularly like Ash Williams of Evil Dead, since we just played a Evil Dead game recently. But Logan. Logan, kind of like a Trent or something. Just sounds completely masculine. Not exactly something I'd peg for a girl's name.
What was that?
Wake, is that you?
Wait. Did I get turned around? No, this is right.
I think so.
This place is looping. Like a nightmare.
Well, it is a fantasy overlap world or whatever. Actually, no, I don't need to read it. Like, what the hell?
The victim was one of their own. FBI Special Agent Robert Nightingale. Witch's ladle, towering over Saga, watching her and the witch. The image of the witch in the sign. Nightingale's heart, a cold.
Oh, we read that one. What was the one we just picked up? It's gotta be one of these.
The writer went into the lake, banished the dark presence. Taken still lurked in the woods. The dark place receded. The current pulled back those with darkness inside, into the lake. Nightingale was there, one of them. The dark presence, Jagger had taken him. The witch had stolen his heart. They sank beneath the waves. The dark place, wandering in the shadows, muttering to themselves. It's dark. I'm lost. Where am I? Who am I? I can't remember. It's cold. Premium cabins for rent in Bright Falls.
Just sounds like old people.
Who said that? Can you hear me? I need help. Please. Stop this. What did I do? You must dig it out. Their shape shifted. Echoes of the writer's dreams. Fading in, fading out. The next story and the story after that. The writer was writing again.
Any evidence we can place? Nothing new with any of the cases. All right. That red lighting looks cool. There he is. All naked up there. Come out, Nightingale.
He's here. Nightingale.
Trapped here. danger.
Who is that? It's like they're coming in over a bad signal. Nightingale's badge.
Can't do anything with that. Don't want to look at it. I guess she knew it was his, so that must be enough.
Set to find the light switch. Show me the clicker. Nightingale hunted
Yeah, I was trying to do that. Marking at how similar the can I move through here? I don't have any more batteries. Shit.
to find the light switch.
Damn it. Seems like a tight space to kind of work with in some instances. I felt like it was pretty open when we first saw him, and then not so much after the fact. This is not how the story goes. The fact that he could warp around, though, is not fun.
Run!
Me?
What the hell is that? Need to get away.
She says run, I guess I'm running. Oh, good. Battery, some ammo. Actually, let me take an opportunity to heal while I can. I think he tagged me at some point, but I feel like it was far enough away where he didn't actually hit me. I was hearing like two of them for a second. It sounded like there was some behind me. Got him. What?
Who are you?
What is this? Who are you?
Hear me.
I'm Saga Anderson, FBI. I can hear you.
Cauldron Lake.
Yes, I'm at Cauldron Lake. Where are you?
How to escape. In danger. The dark presence.
Danger. Thanks. Got it.
Hey! Are you okay?
No! It's my fault! It got out with my face! Scratch!
Sir, calm down. I'm gonna need you to take a breath.
He's changed the story. The dark presence. We must stop it before...
Easy now. First things first. What's your name?
My name is Alan Wake. I'm a writer. I've been...
Wake? Where did you come from? You've been missing for 13 years.
13.
And a chapter. Hey, finally made an appearance. Instrumental intro. And that's all you get. If there's still content claiming, that's enough.
Where did you go? All of a sudden, the radio stopped working, and then that flooding just disappeared. Crazy forest. Is this who I think it is?
Casey, say hello to Alan Wake. Mr. Wake, this is Special Agent Alex Casey. He'll escort you to our car. Casey, I'll meet you there, right after I take a look around. If the flooding's receded, there might be evidence we missed earlier.
Okay. See you there.
It's him, Mr. Wake, finally awake. Yep.
Alex,
Finally awake, are you?
How? Am I still... Is this the dark place? No, it can't be.
There's light.
I got out.
Yeah, the PI from your books has the same name as me. Great. Moving on.
Where's the,
Should look around.
Actually, the
With
lake
flooding
house
gone, could be
vanished in
further
the
clues out
last
there.
game, didn't it?
The flooding disappeared very suddenly. I wonder if there's any connection to the overlap. To Nightingale.
Could be. Is there anything we need to pop on the board?
Nightingale goes missing for 13 years, shows up murdered, and then turns into a monster.
After I stop Nightingale, a rider who's also been missing for 13 years turns up. What's the connection? What kind of case is this?
Something about the lake. Optional. Investigate the previously flooded area. Take the car back to Bright Falls. Alright, we could peruse around for a bit. That deer. I think that's at the beginning of the game. Might also be the one that Saga said she had in her dream. Well, that flashlight ain't doing jack shit right now. I guess day is starting to break, but still. I don't know how those police grade flashlights work. They're pretty damn good, even in the middle of the day.
A locked box. Is that the cult of the tree symbol on it? Notes and ammo. Looks like they're tools of the trade. The cult doesn't see their victims as people.
Remember, they look like us, but they aren't. They're like animals, and it's our job to hunt them and gut them. Interesting.
These stashes could contain clues about the cult. Better keep an eye out for more.
There's a note encouraging cultists to dehumanize their victims. Reminding cultists that victims are like animals. Guess that's part of the psychology then. Wide awake. Okay, I guess that's all I needed to find here, I'm going to assume. Seems like the path getting over this area is fairly linear. At least in the deflooded area. Also going to assume that I don't need to talk to Casey or Wake.
He'd been on the trail of the writer forever. The writer he despised. Hemingway, Bukowski, Wake. I'll get you. I'll find you. I'll make you pay. You're in over your head. He descended into the tunnels, from the Dark City, into the ocean of darkness. Next stop, Caldera Street Station. Something, a presence, rumbled. Not a train. Shadows shifted on the platform. The writer's cult waited for him there. The cult of the word. A cultist leaned close. I carry his words close to my chest now. You're not allowed in the lake until he says otherwise. He'd be caught. Murdered. They got him. They didn't get him. He was reborn out of hate. He was there, but he was risen. Sent to find the light switch up from the lake that was not the lake.
I was gonna say, I guess that's about Nightingale, but yeah, that's what the note is entitled. Maybe I'll just go back. It looks like that goes back to the witch's ladle, so I'm just gonna see if there's any dialogue options with Casey or Wake. And if not, I guess we go back through the tree. Nothing? Okay. I don't think I can go back through anywhere else. There was a ledge that was previously climb-upable, but I think ever since the flooding receded, I don't think you can get back up there. I'm disappointed you don't see the remains of the cabin. From what I remember, I feel like it was literally engulfed and crushed in the lake of the first game, though, so probably a good reason why we don't see it. Interesting stuff so far, though. I'm fascinated to see where they're going with all this. Quick turn by pressing backwards. Just like that. Tapping the stick back twice. Just makes me feel like there's going to be something that creeps up behind me. The wolves. Oh, shit. I was gonna say, are they considered the taken, or I guess they're not afraid of light? Snap at you. Don't forget to use safe havens and hide from enemies, receiving healing in combat. Yeah, that's what I was doing.
Even the animals are turning into monsters.
Well, it took a lot. What's this? I don't remember any of this. Manuscript.
Back at Witch's Ladle, Saga pointed the flashlight at the strange, dark substance. The same substance Nightingale had left at the morgue. There was something hidden under it. She strained to see. The opposite of sunspots in her eyes. Blacker than black. Suddenly a change. The light reacted to the substance. A feedback loop, surging up her arm. Saga squeezed the flashlight, willing it to penetrate the dark matter. Burn it away.
It's something that's already happened. Another cache. Arrows pointing in some direction. Let me just check back here real quick, see if there's anything.
The cult is leaving supplies around for themselves. Wonder what's inside. I should take a look around for a way to open this thing.
It's just a picture of a light bulb. It is a fairly simplistic lock. I think we'd be able to grab a rock from the surrounding area. Just kind of bash it off, but maybe that's just me. Anyway, let's see. I bet you these arrows are starting to point us in the right direction. Stream side stash key. Where does this go? This doesn't go back to the case. It's not a sign. I don't think I remember seeing this either. Was this all underwater? I don't feel like it was.
There's something written here. A poem? Or a riddle? Reminds me of the nursery rhymes I read to Logan when she was little.
One bird for light, 2 for darkness, 3 birds for a fight, 4 for a struggle, 5 birds for injury, 6 for misery, 7 for the ending, whatever it may be. Interesting. Guess there's nothing on the tape recorder or whatever.
Spindle. Perfect weird souvenir for Logan.
Might be evidence. I don't know if it's a good idea just to take shit, but alright. Okay, let's take a look at the case board. We've got some things going on here. Nursery rhymes.
Creepy dolls. Mysterious rhymes. No weirder than anything else going on, I guess.
Crow doll used to solve the rhyme puzzle. Kind of more like an owl to me. What is this setup? Why the tripod? Some kind of experiment. Anything else? Might not be able to do anything else with that just yet. It looks like that path stretches on quite a ways, so why don't I go back, open up the case that we got the key for, and then maybe we'll see about going down that way. Find out if there's anything else. Cult is watching right now. Good. Let him come at me. All right. This is fairly expansive. I'm wondering where, if anything, if there's other stuff that we need to find around here that aren't even just extras. If it's not usable anymore, shouldn't I just be able to throw it away? Guess not. Also, she's got a gun. I think you'd be able to shoot off a lock if you weren't willing to just bash it off with a rock. From Alaska to British Columbia, Washington, Oregon, and all the way down to California, the Pacific Northwest area spans over a diverse range. Here you'll find 59 threatened or endangered species of plants and animals, including the mighty orca and the wild gray wolves. Pacific Northwest region ecosystems are wonderfully diverse. They include mountain areas like the Cascades, the Olympic Ranges, as well as the dense forests around them. In the west, there are several islands. Dry desert plateaus cover the east. Some of the most common wildlife calling the Pacific Northwest their home are robins and seagulls, squirrels and otters, cougars and deer, coyotes and raccoons, salmon and blue herons. Marshes and ponds of this area host an impressive variety of fauna, but the majestic trees like the black cottonwood, big leaf maple, and Oregon ash thrive in the wetlands too. It is truly the nature lover's paradise. Which, of course, excludes Casey. I think I see another case up here. Oh, no, that's a sign. Witchfinder Station. Been seeing a lot about that. That's just to get back down. Wonder if we need another fuse to get this going. Manuscript?
An overlap of the dark place needed a push from both directions to manifest itself. Reality in our world eroded by repeated dark lore tied to a location. And a counterpoint, a work of art, a horror narrative crafted in the depths of the dark place, connecting to the story on the other side to reach out through the weakened veil. A story of a lawman whose heart was cut out of his chest. Two corrupt men killed by their own twisted ambition. A haunted old woman drowned in a bathtub. Twisted reflections on the other side of the mirror. Arcs stabbing through realities, amplifying the influence of the dark place. These elements working in conjunction made a trickle that became a torrent, a wormhole, a vortex, and the art, the map, became the nightmare territory where the dark place encroached on our reality, a blanket over it, where they all overlapped, causing reality to twist and loop like a bad dream, remolding anything and anyone within its dark horror design.
Here's something. Fortunately, we've been getting a few supplies. Notice these as well. If this was any other game, you'd just be able to shoot those. But not this one. Tip of the day, July 21st. When nature calls on a hike, check the direction of wind before answering. Observations: hiker have broken off branches and some of the trees down by the lake to make an illegal fire. Tried to fix some of the damage, douse the area, maybe put up more instructional signs. Also found some tracks I couldn't recognize, pretty big. A wolverine or footprints that were smeared. Either way, they're wandering around in strange patterns. Might be a sick animal. Need to keep an eye out. Is that it? No, there's another one. July 24th, poem of the day. The sun as she sleeps knows not the woes of men who toss and turn and worry and fret and wish they had her blissful slumber. Observations: picked up a bunch of trash left by tourists. Despite posted guidance, humans are the worst. July 25th, thought of the day. Every majestic pine was once just a wee acorn. Observations: a lot of new growth in the area. Some of the saplings I planted earlier are really thriving. Must be all this rain. I don't mind either. Great sounds to sleep to. It's amazing what a good night's rest can and a warm cup of tea can do. Oh, that's a little too dark. How long has the computer been on for? It's like Windows XP.
I feel bad for these guys.
She gonna do that with every mounted deer head? Walk up pet it. Objective. Research into reality-altering effects discovered in the Cauldron Lake area utilizing fiction as an art as a source, manifesting the results in existence. Methodology. The FBC's intent in this research project is to experiment with nursery rhymes, hereinafter referred to as fiction, in an attempt to recreate the conditions under which the writing would become reality. The hypothesis is that there are two ways in which fiction affects reality, either by reflecting events that have come to pass, but that are not known to their later creator, whose act of creation therefore becomes the catalyst for these past events, after which they serve as the source of their own inspiration, or by the fiction itself being the initiating force in its present timeline, using the creator as a conduit. In the experiment, we will create a nursery rhyme text with a specific function, and then use the depicted dolls as symbols as needed via a careful testing process, with the purpose of the story told in fiction manifesting itself in real life. A variety of combinations involving dolls, symbols, and rhymes will be tested in order to collect large amounts of data, with the hope that a pattern will appear. Methods will be adjusted in the testing based on our results. This has something to do with what we saw not too far from here. Oh, look, another doll. A wolf doll this time. Hero doll. Okay, location arrangements. Witchfinder Station 2, Streamside 1, Cauldron Lake Rental Cabins 1. Guessing that's the dolls, since we found 2 here. Another camera. Guess they were recording in hopes of finding something manifesting itself. Okay, that's a little weird. I know it's probably the physics acting up, but it's just like one took off into the night. Let's see if we can find something that'll give us the password for that computer. Oh no, not that. I don't like that doll just sitting there. Nothing else in here, huh?
Another one of those rhymes.
Hero brave and strong left home to right a wrong from the woods came a wolf so greedy and hungry that he ate what he found in the house without a host. Hero returned to find she'd lost the thing she loved the most. Candy. I don't know.
Doesn't make sense.
Is that not it?
Ugh.
There we go.
Something feels different. I should look around.
There's tracks there. I'm looking forward to fighting another one of those wolves.
Okay, then. charm. Cute. It'll go great on the bracelet Logan made for me. Huh. That was strange. Gotta keep an eye out for more of these rhymes.
I think the physics are acting up, but it like lends to the creepiness of things going on here when shit just starts moving around. Yes, the scariest place of all. The bathroom. Untold horrors. Okay. Well, now that we solved that. Oh God, we got plenty to do here. Reenacting the rhyme made the environment change. I can't read all this. Strange dolls. What are these? Who made them? Charm appeared at the site of the rhyme. Dark substance appeared when the rhyme was completed. Rhyme found outside the Cauldron Lake Ranger cabin. PC file listing test sites in Cauldron Lake. Hero doll used to solve the rhyme puzzle.
That's not right.
Wolf doll. Ditto. PC file and reality altering effects of the nursery rhymes. Okay, I think we got those taken care of. Just take them back. What about those charms? Weapons upgrade. More bullets, another headshot, land 2 headshots, increase the session to stun an enemy for an extended duration. I can't afford any of these anyway. Again and again, hold the fire button to activate auto fire mode. This significantly increases the rate of fire. So what do I do with the charms?
9 remaining.
I guess we do have to pet all the deer heads.
Miss you, kiddo. I'll be home soon.
If only the rest of the Bureau knew what a softie Casey is. Mom may be gone, but whenever I read this, I feel like she's still here.
I think I'm gonna read that just now. Oh. That's funny. The door just takes you out. No button press necessary. Okay. Profiling, weapon upgrade. Mind alcohol.
My first ever prank on Casey. A true classic.
That's just like being an asshole. It's not even a fun prank. It's bad for, the person that spent their money on food. Bad for the restaurant, because then they got to remake the dish if they even do that, or they have to refill the table salt at the very least.
Mile High Strangler case. Proud of that one.
That's why you get those salt shakers in restaurants that are just like one solid piece. Yeah, I don't know about the charms. It doesn't seem like there's anywhere in the Mind Palace where I can equip them. So I don't get it. Well, actually, hold on. Oh, okay. Logan's Charm increases maximum health. Coffee Mug Charm saves you from death but shatters in the process. I mean, sure, I guess. Seems like that might be better to have during a boss battle or something, but maybe not, because there's like checkpoints and stuff.
We've reached the car, Anderson. How's it going down there?
I think I'm done here. I'll meet you at the parking lot.
There's still not... I didn't have any clues or anything to show me what the password was for the computer. Little post-it note down there. I wish I could read it. Oh, look, it is the password. I think it's 2547. Nice if I could, like, zoom in a little better. Experimentation update 6 months ago. Really, just 6 months? Experimentation update from Dr. Campbell, Dr. Marmot, Dr. Marmot, Dr. Marmot, Dr. Marmot. Here's a promise update on the project's first experimentations. Test items for plastic animal figurines, teddy bears, toy cars, baby dolls. The iconographic nature of the test items was hypothesized to be beneficial for those research purposes. Test results negative. We'll continue testing with more advanced systems and scenarios. No response from you is necessary. Dr. Eugene Campbell, PhD, lead researcher, Department of Parafictional Research. See, there was a whole lot of things going on in Control that were kind of similar. Control being the other Remedy game, that the most recent one before this one. And, you know, it was like a whole division researching paranormal stuff. And seemed like it was starting to sort of tie into Alan Wake. Kind of a similar thing. There was some tie-ins I feel like I remember with Quantum Break as well, but less on the nose in that case. But I don't know if this is where they all start interconnecting or what. Project Nursery Rhymes, working title. I've received your favorable review by project proposal. Thank you. Need not remind you that my academic, as well as my recreational expertise in mythology, folklore, and writing is indeed lend the needed credibility to the project, both leading it and creating the testing material. Dr. Eugene Campbell, PhD, lead researcher, blah, blah, blah. All right, that's just more evidence for the board, I guess. We go under the who made it, right?
The FBC is definitely playing with things they don't fully understand. And that always goes well.
Now I'm curious, because I wasn't sure that we'd have all the necessary pieces for the other one that we saw, but maybe we do. So now I want to go back to the writings of that one. Still no key or anything. Number for light, 2 for darkness. 3 birds for a fight, 4 for a struggle, 5 birds for injury, 6 for misery, 7 for ending, whatever that might be.
I have a weird feeling something's changed.
Oh.
Another charm for my bracelet.
Attack stagger enemies more often. Heck yeah.
Cultist prowling the woods!
A little hard to get that critical hit point when charging after you so much.
Ah, can't forget the dolls. Might need them again.
Oh, okay. I picked them up last time, but I kind of think it didn't matter that much. But I guess the fact that you can't pick them up probably means that it will be important at some point, so might as well. Let's see how much health that actually recovers for me, if anything. Doesn't look like the health gauge is moving all that much. I guess not. Damn, another one with a key. It's a birdhouse. That's interesting. Trying to think too, where did we came through here before, I think. It's like a very similar little pool. But that was in the overlap. Anyway, the thing we saw in the Witchfinder station talking about, you had like numerical values and locations. I'm pretty sure that would have been referring to the dolls. I just don't remember where the other location was. Although, it should be in your mind palace, right? Maybe not. Well, we're right here. It's not going to take me much effort to go find what it said again. I'll try to commit it to memory. I think it was the note on the second floor. What did you say? Oh, Cauldron Lake rental cabins. Okay. Well, wherever those are at, I don't know that we've seen those yet, but it seems like there's one doll in there. Potentially another puzzle, too. I feel like behind... Here it is, I think. Yeah. With the weird little ornament in the trees. There's a path here.
Another one of those lunchboxes.
Obviously you're going to succeed, or else you wouldn't be the hero, duh. Like, give me 9 manuscript fragments, or is that how many I have total? Because I think I had 1 before. Or, I mean 8. If I got 1, then we'd have be at 9. Okay, I think finally we might have seen everything we can see right now. Let's see if we can find those rental cabins. Those are accessible.
Broken!
Easter egg things.
Another Alex Casey lunchbox?
More Easter eggs means more Easter eggs in the form of lunchboxes. Looked down at the rippling water. The moonlight danced over each and every little wave, a marching band of shimmering light. Lonely and cold, I hugged myself inside, thought of him. Then the surface of the lake calmed, and like a spectral surprise, he was there, his face smiling at me, reflected in the water. I looked up, not daring to believe it was true, but it was true. He was there, my love, my savior, my writer. Anytime you see any of those Easter eggs, like knitted Easter eggs, I start looking for a lunchbox. Alright, yeah, that was all flooded before, so glad we were able to find something. Just wish I knew where those rental cabins were. Are those on the map? Private cabin. That's not it. Witchfinder Station. Rental cabins. Oh yeah, and it's locked too. We had come up there before when we first got in this area at the beginning of the game. Thinking about it. Oh. Oh no, the game crashed. Kind of. It's like when I press the start button, I can see where I'm at. We experienced a glitch. Okay. Well, what I... Oh, Lord. This is not good. Apparently we fell underneath the map. Saved 9 minutes ago. Son of a bitch. But, I mean, 9 minutes is better than an hour ago. Apparently we fell underneath the map or something. My idea was we got stuck in the Mine Palace, and every time I pressed start, I could see where I was, but I was going to go to the exit door instead of, exiting the world, since it didn't seem that worked. And lo and behold, it looks like we're underneath the map or something. So we're going to have to reload that old autosave, which was 9 minutes ago. It might have been after we did the bird puzzle, maybe. Yeah, oh no. Not good, not good. I was actually pulling up the map because I wanted to see if we patched up the witch's cabin, because I wanted to make a save.
Something's changed.
Here we are.
Another charm for my bracelet.
Not getting attacked this time? I mean, I'm fine with that. Okay, unfortunately, I will have to go back and do what I did before. Not everything, obviously. I don't need to go back, into the cabin to look at the transcript again or anything like that, but I don't want to pass up those collectibles that we got. Oh, did I get the... I didn't get the, son of a bitch. I didn't get the doll back. It kind of sucks. This game, for the most part, seems relatively stable. Performance is okay. Ranges from being fine to like not so fine sometimes. Oh, already picked it up? Okay, never mind. Shit. There's another minute wasted. But I mean, that was a pretty bad glitch right there. Whatever happened, the world was loading or we fell through the map, whatever it was. But that and the case file, when I attempted to stream this game first time around, not showing that there was a new file to be looked at. Yeah, it's kind of shitty.
Another one of those lunch boxes.
At the very least, we don't need to read it. I'm gonna risk it and see if we can pull up the map without there being any issues, but I'm curious. There's supposed to be a cabin out this way, a private cabin. I don't recall if I've seen that. Don't think I have. Yes, Miriam and Matt, thanks for the lovely hike. Patty came down from NYC, loved every minute of the trip. Laurie and Bob, his paths have seen better days. Kev, nice views you got here. Mr. Lockhart, may I suggest adding some nice rest stops along the way? Camping do's and don'ts from your friendly park ranger. Do hike and enjoy the scenery. Do set up your tent. Do enjoy a nice meal. Do relax. Don't chop down trees. Don't leave your trash behind. Don't be loud and obnoxious. Don't start a forest fire. And remember, always have fun. Should have been in the do's. Do have fun. But what if someone's idea of fun is starting forest fires and chopping trees down? Might be sending mixed messages here. Can we use this as a save point? I might as well do a manual save. See, it would have been nice to see this before. That way we would have a save spot that would have been closer.
Over here.
Another one of these. Mother Crow sits in her nest, guarding her babies, doing her best. Protect her home from the beasts coming to feast. Only a hero of brave heart can keep the two apart. Guessing the baby and the thing are gonna be there. The hero might be in the tree while the wolf is eyeing him up. Oh.
Nope. Okay.
I think the thing that was supposed to happen has already happened, so probably take the dolls back, but there's the change. There's a little hatchet there. I do mean little. Is this always there, or is that what manifested?
Children in Bright Falls all grew up hearing stories about the cult of the tree. Feral maniacs living in the woods. Satanists chanting, "We watch in the night," as they perform blood sacrifices in the forests. Or things not quite human lurking in the dark. There were many versions of the story, but they all shared one important element: danger in the dark. in the woods. Somewhere among all the urban legends lay a secret truth. The real identity of the cultists prowling in the woods. Real faces hid behind the masks. Real hands held the knives. Real people fulfilling a grim purpose. The forest was not safe. People were right to keep their children away from the trees.
I feel like whatever changes, the camera's usually pointed at it, maybe. Oh, but you know what? That might have manifested a wolf. We did see a birdhouse. Maybe I'm the hero? This is a true story. I do think there's another one.
Another charm. Good thing Logan made me this bracelet.
They can get under the, I mean, they, in actuality, they would be able to get under the log there, but hopefully not, since it's a save point. Okay, so what was the charm? Increase hand flare's duration and area of effect. Oh, you know what? We had some flares. I forgot. Throwable flare emits intense light for long duration. Can be held in hand or thrown. I think I'm going to leave that alone. We still got things to do. That was like a little aside because I didn't realize until second thought that I hadn't actually done anything with that little cabin over there. Unfortunately, there's no enemies over this way. There was first time around.
Another Alex Casey lunchbox?
So that lunchbox. All right. Now I think we're good to go back. See if I could heal up any more there. I guess not. Let me try to go the back way. See if I can This is the way, right? Or was it? I forget if we were near the picnic area. I'll figure it out. Ah, here's where the murder site is, so the shortcut should be back up here. I was curious about going up to this electrical box thing since they were working on it, seeing if those guys were still there. Clear most of the trees.
Warning.
Making an awful noise.
Activity detected. AWE. Event in progress. Cauldron Lake. What's an AWE?
Casey, what exactly does the FBC do?
Alan Wake event?
After New York, when I started looking for our friend here, their name came up. I pushed them for any files they had on him, but got stonewalled. They have a reputation of showing up for weird shit. They have a presence here, and now we find our writer. How about that?
Good idea to take the shortcut, I guess. Get a little lore building. I'm starting to wonder if the FBC was the branch that was in control. I forget. I didn't play much of that game. I played a couple hours, but I thought I might want to stream this maybe, so it's usually better if I stream a game and haven't played it before, as opposed to ones that I'm familiar with. It's nice to get that kind of like raw reaction. So I put it off, but I never went back to it because there was just too many things going on. Too many games and game series that I had decided to do and just didn't work out, but maybe after completing this, might not be a bad idea to take a look at those.
You ready to go?
I think so.
Mr. Wake, we're taking you back to our field office in Bright Falls. You can freshen up there, and then we'll talk properly.
Hey, Mom. Before you say anything, I'm totally fine. Don't freak out. Dad shouldn't have even texted you.
Logan? No one texted me. What's going on?
I'm totally fine. I slipped, that's all. God, it's not the end of the world.
Put your father on the phone.
Okay. Dad, it's Mom.
Don't worry, hon. Logan slipped in the shower and bumped her head. She has a slight concussion, but I'm keeping an eye on her. Lucky I heard her fall. She could have drowned.
Jesus, David. Why didn't you call?
I tried. It didn't go through. She's fine, really. But what about you? You sound stressed.
No, it's, just weird case, that's all.
Well, if you need a hint, my years of board game victories tell me Colonel Mustard did it.
Well, that looks off.
I'll keep an eye out for him.
Like, it's so dark.
Love you, Dave.
There's a lot of artifacting going on.
Want to say bye to Logan?
Just tell her I love her. Bye for now.
So that's not like stream quality or even compression rate on saved videos. It's like in the actual game, which is weird. I see it on my end too.
Is there anyone you'd like us to reach out to, Mr. Wake?
You've been gone a long time.
No. No. They'd be in danger. It'll come for me.
Okay, let's talk about something else. Robert Nightingale. Do you know him? You were both here in 2010.
The Dark Presence got him back then. That's the last time I saw him. 13 years. Oh, fuck me.
Tell us about the pages. You had what looks like a title page with you. Return. Is this the name of the story on these pages? The writer's name has been scratched out pretty violently, but your name can still be made out underneath.
Scratched out. Yeah. Scratch.
Did you write these pages, Mr. Wake?
I'm trying to remember. It's a crazy jumble, like a nightmare. It doesn't make sense. I remember.
Thank you. Welcome. Well, we have a great show for you here tonight. Alan Wake is here. Alan Wake, one of my all-time favorite writers and guests on the show. He's here to talk about his latest book.
It's like the first game. There's a TV show that you can interact with. Late Night, Initiation 1.
Was I on a talk show tonight? Waking up in places with no memory of how I'd gotten there. It was out of control. I didn't need another mugshot in the fucking tabloids.
First game had these... it was like a Twilight Zone ripoff. I forget what it was. The Scary Door. No, that was Futurama. There was something had a TV show, but this one looks like it might have some potential character arcs in it, maybe. What am I doing? I'm gonna look brightness calibration. Let's try something else. We might try this.
Had I already done the show?
See if it helps with that weird artifacting going on in game. There he is. Whoa, graphics looking slick. I wonder if they're gonna, if he talks, they have to dub over him, right?
Alan! Good to see you, Alan. Great to see you. Welcome back to the show. Come on, sit down. Woo!
Three-man band.
Man.
Oh God, how long is this going to be? It's not going to be a 40-minute segment, is it?
This must be an exciting time for you. Tell me, does it ever get old?
Sorry, does what get old?
Publishing a new book. Are you okay there, my friend? You look like you've been cooped up in the writer's room for a few too many years.
This is exactly how I feel.
You know, I've waited so long to get my hands on the sequel to Departure. You left us on quite the cliffhanger. We've all been dying to know what "it's not a lake, it's an ocean" really means.
You and me both.
Well, our wait is over. Your new book, Initiation, hits the shelves tomorrow.
What?
That's exactly what every reader will be asking. This book is mind-bending. It's so cerebral. I mean, how would you describe it? An auto-fictional thought experiment? A horror story? A postmodern detective story?
Wait. This isn't right. I haven't written anything.
He's so humble.
Okay, you got me. Good prank, very funny. But yeah, sad to say, I've not written this. I'd remember if I'd written a book, right?
Or maybe it was written by your evil double. Well played, man! That is spot on! Playing the role here. Pretending the world of the book overlaps our own. That's very meta indeed. You see, Initiation tells the story of a fictional writer named Alan Wake, who is trapped in a nightmare, desperately trying to find the manuscript of a novel he has forgotten he has written. The book is set in New York, but it might not be New York at all. He is tormented by his dark doppelganger and guided by visions of a fictional detective he has written. That's right, Alex Casey is in this book as well.
I guess we'll just keep doing this the whole show. The joke's on me.
Are the chairs? I just noticed how tiny that chair is. Good lord.
No, but seriously.
He looks like an orangutan in it.
The structure of the reality you build in the book, fascinating. It reminded me of The Matrix. I mean, the writer is physically in his writer's room, trapped there, and he projects himself out to this dark dream of New York.
It's better than real late night TV. Boy, you ain't lying, especially nowadays. Late night TV has been shit for like the past half decade, if not more.
That's exactly right. Go on. I should be taking notes here. This is great stuff.
Notes to that other Alan Wake in that room writing this as we speak? Are we all in your story, Alan? Wow. No, I wish you every success with your new book, Alan. I hope it's as successful as your best-selling Alex Casey series. Initiation hits the shelves tomorrow. After this, I'm sure we'll all be eagerly awaiting the culmination of this hero's journey trilogy of yours. A book called Return, perhaps. Man, thank you for one of the strangest interviews of my entire career, Alan. All this talk of meta-narratives.
The host kind of reminds me of Lance Reddick, just a bit. I wonder if they would have gotten him had he not unfortunately passed. Oh. Graphics ain't looking hot anymore.
Hello? I'm losing it. Something's not right here. I needed to get home. To Alice.
Nothing scarier than a late night TV show set.
What the hell was that interview? Some kind of joke? Initiation? I never wrote a book called Initiation. This felt like a bad dream. Could make a good horror story.
In between with Mr. Door. I used to watch late night all the time, though. And, you know, I'd switch around. My favorite was Conan O'Brien. And even him on his TBS show sort of started to wane after a while. Wasn't as big a fan of his, you know, after he had moved. But I think at the start of the Conan show on TBS, it was still pretty fresh, pretty good. But I think the ratings must have started tanking or something, because they just switched it to like a 30-minute format, and then it was just like him sitting in a room talking with people for a quick minute. It's kind of sad to see it go down the way it did.
I'd never heard of this talk show or Mr. Door before. None of it felt right. Was I losing my mind?
My interpretation. Dr. Casper Darling. Yeah, he's, I think the FBC is the agency that's in control, but this guy was, you know, he was like head of research or something. My interpretation of many worlds, Dr. Casper Darling. So yeah, Remedy's doing this like shared universe thing. And I think they kind of started, I mean, I don't think they intended to do it with Alan Wake in the first game, but I think they started kind of moving towards that by the time they got to Quantum Break. And then it seems like by Control, that ended up
been locked in.
being
Fuck. Now I have to find the code myself.
very intentional.
Great.
Not in the book, is it? Old Gods of Asgard.
Old Gods of Asgard.
The rock
That
band?
name sounded familiar.
I noticed the guys kind of looked like younger versions. 665, Neighbor of the Beast. Younger versions of the old rocker guys from the first game, but I don't know if it was supposed to be them or not.
There was something here. A broken transmission I couldn't quite make out. What was that? A message? Impossible to say.
Well, that RTX ain't looking so great. I don't know if that's intentional or not. We saw it in Spider-Man 2 on the PS5. Actually, it looked pretty slick. I was rewatching some of the recordings I did of that stream while I've been posting them to YouTube, and like, yeah, you can see pretty decent reflections, not only just like on the buildings and stuff, but like in the rain puddles. Impressive visually, but the problem is devs do so much detail work
in the studio with me. I had to get out.
It's like I wasn't paying attention to that shit when I was playing it. You know, I was trying to focus on not getting attacked by symbiotes and stuff, so my attention was elsewhere, despite the fact that it might look great. Great for streaming purposes, I suppose. People can look and appreciate all that stuff. But, you know, I wasn't appreciating it. Just playing the game. Kick it. Use your feet.
This is the ritual to lead you all.
Waking up from the nightmare, I felt like a drowning man gasping for air.
Yeah, I hate those dreams.
This place felt familiar. A ghost of a memory surfaced, about riding here for countless days.
Initiation draft.
A plot board for mapping out a story. On the index cards, the nightmare that just happened to me. A summary of the story so far. But other notes as well. Warnings. I had written them. I couldn't remember what it all meant. The name Scratch filled me with dread. I could trust these words. I had to act on them. You must write to escape.
Waking up to a nightmare. Talk show, I thought I was home in New York, but none of it felt right. Trapped in the dark place, nightmare beyond our world. Writer's room was my safe haven. My writing affected what was outside. I was trying to write a story to escape this place. The story was called Initiation. With the story I wrote, I projected myself out to look for a way to escape. I tried many times, failed. This place made me forget. Everything Dora had said had felt true.
More.
Was that part of my writing or coming from somewhere else? Dark place, trapped, you must write to escape. Part 1, late night, waking up to a nightmare. Read me, beware Scratch, Alice. I guess that's all we could do there. It's kind of like the Mind Palace. Get back to writing, alright.
I didn't remember much, but I knew my thoughts and ideas could manifest as reality in this dark place. I'd use my writing to project myself out of this room. Like a deep sea diver to go deeper and explore the depths of this prison for a way out. This room was my boat. Writing was my lifeline. I would start again at the talk show.
Thank you. Oh, you're too kind. Welcome back. We have a great show for you here tonight. Real treat for all you Alex Casey fans out there. Alex Casey himself is here tonight. That's right. Sam Lake, ladies and gentlemen. The actor who has given his face to the famous detective in the film series. And of course, we have Alan Wake here. The best-selling writer, the books, the films are based on. Let's do this!
Now we're getting like super meta. Where's this light coming from?
Welcome back to the show. So, Alan, as the creator of the character, how do you feel about this?
Sorry, what?
I know it can be an awkward question with the man sitting right next to you, but I mean, how do you feel about him in the role of Casey? Does he look the part to you?
He looks exactly like I always imagined Casey to be. It's uncanny.
Gonna talk?
Thank you. That means so much to me.
And he's using his real voice.
I'm a huge fan of your books.
So, what's the problem, Alan? Because on more than one occasion, you voiced your reservations about the adaptations.
It's not that. They're their own thing. They've gone with choices that are different from mine. I feel protective about my stories, and these adaptations... I don't know. I guess I just wish I could have been more involved in making them.
Sometimes the lip syncing's really good, and sometimes it's a little off.
Either. We have a clip from the new film, Murder Case Casey. Should we roll it, or do you want to say something first, Sam?
Nah, just roll it.
This city was an old scar that refused to heal. The rain made it fester. It needed the sun, but there was only the night. I was tired.
Guess he was dubbed in this too.
Insomnia covered me like a plastic film. I was watching the world through a rain-slick window, my own reflection haunting the view. I was trying to track down a missing writer. My only clue was a table lamp shaped like an angel, the only thing that shed light on this sordid mystery.
That's great. Murder Case Casey. Great job, Sam. Very exciting and very meta. I'm looking forward to seeing more.
Wait, stop. What was that about a writer? About a lamp?
Too bad. And, like, I don't know. I guess some people might not know it, but the Alan Wake is two entities. You have one it's the same situation that we have with Sam Lake providing his face for Casey, but, what's his name doing the voice, who does the, Max Payne voice. But the same kind of situation for Alan Wake, but it gets a little muddy when you start taking it into real life, because then you have to have another guy dubbing over a real person, which isn't unheard of. I mean, you take a look back at a lot of 60s films in particular, especially if they're foreign in any sense, and, they've got English dubbing in a lot of those cases. I'm thinking about, like, Sergio Leone's Dollars trilogy. Even Clint Eastwood himself had to dub over his lines because they weren't using live mics on site. What they'd do is they'd record, they'd film and everything, and despite the fact that they were talking, obviously, because their mouths are moving and they'd have to communicate to the other actors, know what to do and everything, they'd go back into the studio after the film was shot and they'd re-record their lines, and it all matches up pretty well. But it's kind of like a similar situation here, because you have the actor that provides the likeness of Alan Wake, but the voice of Alan Wake is done by somebody completely different. 566 or 565, I see. There we go. This thing gonna do anything else? No? Guess they're going through the exact same process. Except no attack this time.
Hello?
Open up those doors, I guess. Sam Lake, is that you?
Ah, Lorraine! There you are, Tom. Oh, not so much evil that not a bit of good as well. Not one without the other. Good to see you.
Hey, I can't seem to find my way out of here. Can you point me to the exit?
No totta helvetissä. Of course, Tom. The work will instruct its maker. I was gonna get something from the basement for you, but you can get it yourself now. The more cooks, the worse the soup.
Okay.
Have we met before? Are you trapped in the dark place too?
You remember Ahti, the janitor. You can't be lost if you don't worry about where you are headed. So don't worry, Tom. The sun will shine even into a heap of twigs. Just remember to turn on the lights. It won't take long when you get to work.
What do you want me to get from the basement? And my name's Alan, not Tom.
Ja, mutta katsopako a man, but a man with a tool makes two, Tom. Eikö niin? And a man with a tool can build his own exit. It's in a shoebox, in the basement where you left it.
The clicker?
Safe as in the Lord's purse. Here's the key.
I've been trying to find a way to escape the dark place. Any suggestions?
He who mouths about his troubles is the prisoner of his troubles. It's not easy to get out. But don't you worry, Tom. The home is still there where the heart is. I often think about it when I mop the floor and look into the puddle. Water is the memory of the world. Water finds its way.
The janitor was a bit out there, but still a friendly face. I had to trust the basement would get me out of here.
Let's close the door on him there. I'm gonna leave you in there. Turlets. Let's see what we can find in here. Apparently nothing. All these, I'm assuming Finnish people. I think there's a lot in Remedy Studio that are from the old Finland. including Mr. Sam Lake himself, which is why I was wondering when he showed up if he was going to be using his real voice. As you hear there, he's got an accent, so... But they make a lot of primarily Western-developed games, and from my recollection of everything that they've done as a studio, so... I have to assume that, you know, everybody in the studio, including Lake, have got a firm grasp of the English language. I guess it's pointing me to the light in there. The hell is that? The light switch. Said to turn on the light.
An old lamp in a shoebox. Was this what the janitor had left for me?
Yeah, I guess. Lamp in the shape
lamp
of an
felt
angel.
Significant. A tool for bringing light to the darkness.
Where'd you get that pack?
I felt a magnetic pull between the lamp and the light overhead. Whoa! When the light jumped into my lamp, the whole room changed, like something in a dream. Opening a way forward, the lamp was humming. The bulb glowed. It held the light now.
Interesting. Guess I could transfer light from one place to another.
I felt another surge from the lamp. The glow in the lamp went out, shifting the light in the room. The light carved out something new from the darkness.
Oh. I'm gonna assume I was supposed to do that. I guess I could open it. Looks like I could probably open that door again if I needed to. Sort of an interesting game mechanic, though.
The dark place wants to drown me. I'm losing myself.
Hey, classic outfit.
Fight it. I have to remember the clicker, the light switch. I lost it, but I have the lamp now. The lamp the switch was cut from. This place is a nightmare. Not real, and yet more real than anything. The danger and the horror real. It feeds off my mind, twisting whatever it takes into psychotic reality. I'm trapped here. I write to escape. I've tried this many times, written countless stories, forgotten how many. I keep failing, but I must keep trying. I use the story to dive deeper. Every word I write is a step forward on this spiral into darkness. I dive to the bottom to find the answer, the map, and the key, and the compass. It's combined to form a door leading out. But how do you open a door that's not a door? At the bottom of an ocean that's not an ocean, and a lake that's not a lake.
End of part. I don't like the achievement sound, especially when it's supposed to be fairly dramatic. It sounds so chipper. Sounds like it might be a nice song. All right. Do a little manual save. I think we're good to stop here, though. We've been playing for roughly 4 hours. despite the fact that we experienced a little bit of a glitch and had to make up 9 minutes of time, I think we've done pretty good for ourselves. But interesting game so far. I'm actually liking it quite a bit. I wasn't sure, just even based off of the initial stream where I played about an hour and a half of it, if I'd end up liking it. But so far so good. I'm digging it. Interested to see where it goes. And it's definitely grabbing me, which I feel like when I played the original Alan Wake, I don't know if it grabbed me quite as well, like right off the bat. Eventually I ended up getting into it, but this one seems to be drawing me in a little bit more readily. I do like that it seems to have a bit more of a horror themed tone, and having that M rating and being able to get a little more gruesome, I think helps with that as well. So it's kind of nice, because I feel like the original was a little more safe, but yeah, I'm digging the tone and gameplay and everything so far. Not super combat intensive, not super puzzle heavy. It's keeping things mixed up, and location variety. Everything's pretty good so far, and I feel like it's taken, one of some of my criticisms of the first game and seems to have worked that out quite a bit. So interested to see where it goes next, but that's going to be it for tonight. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks to all the lurkers and such that were here as well. Nice having you guys in chat. You all have a good night. I might be back tomorrow. I think I'll be back tomorrow. We'll do some more of this. Wednesday may or may not be a busy day for me, but should still have some time to stream. So I think we could knock out a couple streams back to back this week. But yeah, definitely interested in seeing where this goes. So we shall find out together. But in the meantime, thank you guys. Have a good night, and we'll see you next time. Until then, later.